Hello, welcome to this live, or this recording, if anyone's watching on YouTube. This is for, I don't know what today's date is. Oh well, I can look it up here. March 27th, cool. And I'm an hour later than normal. I'm pushing back my start time, so we'll see how that goes. And I would like to unflip this. Hey Ruda, how's it going? How are you doing? How are you doing today? Shelby, how's it going? Ooh, how's everybody doing today? Hey, I'm starting an hour later than normal. I have coffee. Oh my gosh. I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty well. How's your mood? I'm doing all right. I didn't sleep the best last night, but I feel pretty okay. Hopefully, does the mood feel okay to you? If not, I can just come back next week just to make sure I'm in a good spot. But I feel okay. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Ooh, did I get a what? Oh, cool. Awesome. Glad to hear it, Shelby. How are you guys doing? How's everything going this Sunday before we jump in? Morning, Andy Pandy Pie. Good to see ya. I'm going through a healing. Can I have a message? Yeah, let's pull a card for you. Well, let me see how they want me to start. So, fully with highest good, what would be the highest message for Ruda? Okay. They would pull the top card here. Okay. So you're going through a healing. I'm not sure this is the card they want. Our Lady of the Ripening Vine coming out here. I do feel like you are going to be totally good, Ruda. They want the Inner card. Okay, here we go. So Inner card. So what would be the highest and best message for Ruda at this time here? One thing I'm getting for you is your healing is leading to a blessing. I do see a positive turnaround coming for you regarding what you're going through. I'm getting this might have been something that this might have been plaguing you for a while. Like you are getting to the root of a lot of issues and healing them. So it might be one thing after another for a little bit, like maybe like three things. But I feel like you're actually going to get through it relatively quickly, at least some of it. It does turn things around for the better. They definitely want to bring through the message like, hey, it's not going to be the rest of your life. You know that you're healing and going through this. I actually feel like things turn around pretty quickly for you, and you're going to see some vast improvements. But you're definitely not someone who's meant to be at the bottom of the human experience for any length of time. Spirit definitely does want you uplifted, though sometimes we go through these things so we can get to a better place more thoroughly. So that's one thing that they want to say. Anything else that would be for your highest good at this time? Pulling another card. Our Lady of Resurrections. Let me see what they have to say. I do feel like you are going to be on top first and foremost. I think in some way, like one of the messages they're saying is you might be resurrecting old aspects of you so you can heal them. That might be part of what you're going through. But once you heal them, you either integrate them and it's good, or you're done with them. Like you don't have to deal with it anymore. One thing they're also saying, if this even makes sense as a message, is you're being resurrected to a higher version of you. That's part of what the healing is about, is kind of what they're talking about. But you're definitely going to be better for it. So anything else that's important for you to know at this time here? Also, I feel like you're a really cool person, Ruda. I know I've seen you on the live, so I'm not just saying that because I've seen you around so much here, but I do really feel like you're a really cool person. So any resources you need, whether it's related to the healing or not, like I feel like you're going to be getting the resources you need really quickly here just to overcome this, to succeed where you need to. I feel like for some reason I'm getting this message like you won't be left in the dust, like you're not going to be left behind in life if that's been a concern for you at all. You're going to come out on top regarding all this. So I hope that helps at all. I feel like there's more I could get to for you, but Um, I don't know. This seems a little bit generic as a message, but I'll say it because they said it. But Our Lady of the Sacred Sisterhood came out for you as well, and pretty much what they said is believe in you. Like anything you can anything you want to accomplish, you can. It seems a bit trite to me, but when they bring the message through, I'm going to bring it through. There's also a message, interestingly enough, like these little doves on the card are telling me, like, for you, hey, like, don't push yourself if you're not ready to heal something, or don't push yourself through something if you're not ready for it. Like, it's okay to allow things to take their time and to not rush through the healing if that's not the correct pace for you, essentially. But I do feel like you're going to heal quickly, which is good. Also, like, they're kind of putting my eyes to these like beads here. You can barely see it on the card through the camera, but these look like beads, like kind of, I apologize if they're the traditional name for these and I'm not sure what they are, but they remind me of prayer beads. And so that might be something you could utilize to expedite the process or help you through what you're going through, would be like mantras, like mala beads, prayer beads, just so you're setting your intentions to the universe, essentially. Even if it's just to get your focus off of things, to get you to a centered place, that could also be helpful for you with that here. There's also a message, weirdly enough, of like, hey, you have a big heart, don't let people take advantage of it. So if that's been an issue or a concern for you, it's only if you know they're doing it. You know, if you're aware that that's happening, it might be a good time to set a boundary on that. But hopefully that helps at all, Ruta. Cool. Good to hear it. Sorry, didn't mean to. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to get this chat thing out of my way here so I can see the... there we go. Cool. Oh, excuse me. Hey, everybody. How are we doing this morning? How is everybody doing here? We're doing the Q&A. Thursday at noon. Is there a change coming my way for the better? Yes. There might be a dip happening before that happens. I feel like for you, Thursday at noon, March, April, May is a big turnaround period for you. But there's going to be certain things that happen that are disconcerting. Like they don't want me to share the visual I'm getting, but let me see how they want me to explain it. Like you might find your path has a little bit of like a wobble to it here and there. But things really things will start to glide a bit more in May. And like solidify a bit more in April is what I'm getting for you. And I do get this summer as a big turnaround period for you. So it seems like the spring and summer are a pretty big turnaround period for you is essentially what I'm getting. I feel like next year you're going to be in a much better place is also what I'm getting. And it might be a road to get there, but you are going to be flying in a higher plane pretty soon here, essentially. Well, by pretty soon, what does pretty soon mean here? I mean, you're going to have some up and down periods, but I'd say by the end of this year, it'll be better. And by next year, not by next year, but next year, it's going to be way better is essentially what I'm getting. I'd say in a few years for you, you're going to be in a completely different reality that you're going to love, essentially. So that's also a message I'm getting for you. But interestingly enough, like Our Lady of the Sacred Sun coming out here as a card for you. I'm getting this message. Hey, Texas Jess, good to see you. I'm getting this weird message like you're birthing, not literally, potentially, by the way, but you're either birthing things in your life or birthing new circumstances for yourself. But sometimes there's like a labor period, sometimes there's a labor period, but sometimes there's the period where it's like being grown or cultivated. But I'd say right now you're at the crux before the turning point. But I'd be a little bit patient, but that's what I'm getting for you as far as timeframes and things like that. So yeah, changes will be happening that will get better for you. I do get your career is going to change, by the way, whoever I was just talking to or channeling for. Cassidy Dill, do you drink coffee? Sometimes. I haven't been drinking as much lately. My guys have kind of been, sometimes they steer me away from it. They've been steering me away from it more than usual. Today they were like, yeah, go get some. But some days they're like, yeah, have some coffee. So sometimes they guide me to have it too. So on and off, yeah, I drink coffee. I've found, I'll talk to it. There's a lot of like different, I teach Reiki, I teach a lot of energy work. There's a lot of people I've encountered who say coffee like gets in the way of like, I don't know. What I've found is coffee does not inhibit my intuition or my channeling or my ability to feel or perceive energy whatsoever. I'm not sure where that came from different people out there. I'm always guided to coffee. So I'm not sure where that theory came from, but I'm getting right now it's not true. I think sometimes people put things on things and then they create that experience for themselves. And I think maybe it was a back in the day thing where people would put kind of negative things on coffee, and you can get organic blends and things. And when you kind of look into it, there are a lot of healthy things about coffee. There's micronutrients. Caffeine's actually what I've heard from people who've studied herbalism, like a preserving agent in plants. So it's actually something that could potentially help with aging. Don't quote me on that. That's just something that I heard from an herbalist friend of mine, that she was talking about how caffeine is the preserving agent of plants. So it's actually like can be pretty good for you in the right quantities. I'm not saying to load up on it and take like 20 Red Bulls. I'm just saying a little bit's okay. So some people see it as a toxin. I don't feel like that's right, but I do feel like finding the right variety and the right amount is probably good. So Prince Priestess, you are not missing any messages today, is what I get. I don't know why I see you picking up the pieces, but you're definitely going to be okay, if that was a concern. Hey, Extra Small Popsicle, how's it going? I avoid Red Bulls, though. Yeah, I stay away from energy drinks, 100%. So, hey B, what's coming for you this spring? So, fully flask good, what's coming for Extra Small Popsicle this spring here? Our Lady of the Ocean of Rebirth. Okay, they're showing me like the concept of Tantra. So, I'm going to leave that on the table and see if they bring me any more messages on that. But that's an interesting one. But anyways, with Our Lady of the Ocean Rebirth, what's coming for you this spring here? I don't know why I'm starting to get this message again about positive turnarounds. I feel like you are going to have a positive turnaround here, though. One thing I see for you this spring is you diving really deep into yourself and changing a lot of things that are deep within you and kind of emerging, maybe not an entirely new, different person, but changed for sure. Because this spring is definitely a time of change for you. I'm getting Extra Small Popsicle. For many, yeah, but for you is kind of what they're talking about. So anywhere you need change that's coming in, and they're kind of showing me a tidal wave. Like they show me a beach with the water like kind of, rescinding as it does before a tidal wave, and then there's a giant wave rushing, and they gave me the words tidal wave. I'd say for you, you're probably gonna have a tidal wave of change coming this year, but I think you'll love a lot of it. What they said is you'll love a lot of it. So I'd say for you, there might be some massive changes coming this spring, but it definitely seems to start internal, or it's like, I don't want to say the key is turning to start the change. What's the message here for you? It's like the keys that need to turn to start the change are turning, metaphorically, you could say, something they're saying. So what else is coming for you this spring here? Top card. Our Lady of Sacred Union. We did talk about Tantra, right? Let me see what this is about for you here. One thing that they're saying, and they're almost showing me like, they just said there's a lot of things leaving your life, but it's for the better. For some reason, they're really pointing my eyes to this heart, where like this water is like pouring forth from this heart, like down to Mother Mary's hands, down to these like flowers here. So I want to see what the message is about that here for Sacred Union for you here. One thing, you're going to be coming into more unity with yourself is something they're talking about. You're also going to have a lot more connection with others and like an easier time connecting with others. I'm also getting this message for you. It's a time of peace. So well, there might be a lot of deep rearranging. Others are going to bring you peace, essentially, is what I'm getting. And I don't know, they're almost showing, these are tulips, right? These white flowers. They're almost showing someone bringing you a bouquet of tulips or something like that as like, I don't know if it's a peace offering or just to symbolize peace is something they're talking about. So what else is the message for you regarding that here? I'd say if you don't have a partner, that's definitely something that's going to be strengthening for you, or if it's not there, it's coming is something I'd say, or a deeper connection with the person you're in partnership with is essentially what I'm getting. There is just a reminder for you, like, hey, don't be afraid to go big in your life. That's something they want to say as well. But that's, so anything else coming through in the spring here? Our Lady of the Abundant Garden, coming out for you here. So what else here? I'd say for you, like, a lot of the spring is like making space for new, making space for new people. It's making space for things that serve you. Hopefully that phrase is not trite, but you definitely are going to have abundance coming here. I'm getting this as financial in the summer, which is really cool. Also, anything else for you with this card here? Anywhere you've been lacking in your life, that's going to get filled in the springtime or summer is what I'm getting, because they're almost showing like these like gaps in like your life, like where abundance might be missing, or you might feel a bit more lackful, and then like a truck comes and like fills it with, I don't know if cement's the right analogy, but you get what I'm saying. So that's it for that. Anything else that would be highest and best to come through for you that you need to hear for the springtime? So they're kind of going back to re-summarize, like they're showing me a seagull. I don't know what's up with the seagull on the beach, but they're just, with the seagull, they're showing me the word like rearrange here. You're rearranging, your life might rearrange. It kind of goes back to like the spring cleaning kind of theme a little bit, but I feel like it goes a bit deeper than most people typically would in the springtime, because it's almost like your soul is doing a deep clearing of your life and like decluttering you individually is what I'm getting. So you're prepared for a better summer, and so that you can have a life you want to live, more of a life you want to live is what I'm hearing as well. So I'd say for you, this is a happy spring, not one that's devastating. And maybe you'll be in your own world a little bit is something they're showing me as well. But as long as that's not, disconnected from reality, there's nothing wrong with that. Like being in your bubble, building your own thing, having your own experience, nothing wrong with you doing you. So I am getting a message of new friendship coming in for you. Excuse me, I think I kind of already touched on that. So new friends coming in for you. So what else would be good for you in the spring here? I don't know. There's this message in case you need to hear it. I wouldn't necessarily like start over this spring if you've been contemplating starting over or like ditching everything to start over. I don't feel like it's time for that. I'm not sure if that's where you were in the first place anyways, but that's just something they were like saying really quickly. But that's it for at least this. I hope that was helpful for you or good for you. I hope that was detailed enough. I hope that was helpful. So I hope you're having a good time. Extra small popsicle. I'm contemplating ending a relationship. Should I, for this spring? I'm getting a yes for you. They're really kind of yelling yes for you. I'm not sure if it's worth keeping it going. I do get there's better for you if you leave, but sit with it a bit longer. See if it feels light to you. You can sit with like, okay, how will it feel? What will my life be like in 5 years if I leave? Feel the energy of that. What will my life be like in 5 years if I stay? Feel the energy of that, or ask, for a further sign. But I am getting yes, ending that relationship. Extra small popsicle. Hope that helps. All right. So, hey, just so you guys know, Q&A portion, Q&A box, my gosh, probably the best place to put your questions just so I have a better chance of seeing them. try not to spam over and over again if you feel like you have been. And no worries if you sent a few messages and you didn't know. I'm not gonna be mad, and there's no reason to get mad, right? So, but good morning. I hope you all or it's morning where I'm at. Hope you are having a great Sunday. Excuse me trying to get my words out. I'm going to be going through Q&A and seeing what I'm guided to answer and how I'm guided to answer it. So what would be best for me to get to next here? Ali Wawa 17 asked, should they move or stay in the same town they are in? I'm getting to potentially stay for another year or just stay for a time and then move. It might not be time to move right now is essentially what I'm getting. And it might be something you end up regretting if you move too soon. Of course, you can stay with it for yourself, see how you feel, but that's what I'm getting for you. So I'm getting stay for another year, then move. I do feel like you will be happier when you move. I do feel like it's a good move when you do make it. It's definitely something you're supposed to do. It's just, for some reason, I'm getting right now, hang tight. So hope that helps and answers that for you. Hope you're having a good day out there in the world. Okay, they want me to answer this one. Andres Dorina, hello, I apologize if I don't pronounce this right. Cyprian, my twin flame or karmic? Okay, is he your twin flame? I'd say, because they're kind of giving me this answer of both. They were leaning more towards karmic though, so let me explain here. I do believe there are twin flame aspects or things. There are energies of a twin flame in the relationship between you two. At the same time, there's karmic patterns that are being worked out for your soul growth and development and further healing so that you change some of your patterns. I'm not a huge twin flame person, if I'm being honest. Do I believe it exists? I do get yes, but every time I talk about it with my guides, they're like, it's so much different than people think it is. It's not what people think it is. I don't think it's what most anybody thinks it is based on what they tell me. So it can be an energy you encounter and something you go through, but I'm not really convinced Cyprian is your one and only forever and ever on and always. They might be an aligned partner for a long period of time, or someone who fits the twin flame dynamic, or there's an aspect of that there, but I don't necessarily know if it's a full, I'm not saying I don't know. I don't really get it's a full twin flame when I check in, if that makes sense, but you're going to have that dynamic. So hopefully that answers that. If you're in a relationship with them, it's definitely safe to stay, but there's going to be things you're working out, essentially. If it doesn't work out, I do get that there is potentially better for you out there. That's what they're saying. So I hope that is helpful in any way, shape, or form. I think sometimes it's not always so cut and dry as this is twin flame, this is bad karmic, this is soulmates. I think sometimes there can be either elements of both, or sometimes we all have our healing or things we need to work through. But hopefully that makes sense as an answer, Dorina. That's what I'm getting. Hey everybody. Bunnybot, you are not wrong. You said, were you wrong to reveal the info that you did last night? I got no. So hopefully that helps. Olivia Scott 4 says, feeling stuck at the moment. Any guidance here? Yeah. One thing I'm getting first and foremost for you is pull back. I'm getting this message for you, your path is under construction, and I guess you could say by the divine or by the other side. Now is definitely not a time to rush things if you feel like you've been rushing things. But I'm getting this message of pull back, pull your energy back. Project wise, if there's any projects you're working on or you're not sure what to work on, I would focus on one thing and just put your efforts there. I'm also getting a message of allowing yourself to heal as you do so. But the pathway, if you feel stuck and like there's not a pathway, the pathway is going to gradually open up for you if you take a step back and like, if you need to give yourself some time to either like settle in or just take a second for yourself, that's okay. I almost get this message for you like to try to narrow your focus though. If you're overwhelmed by a lot of things, try to focus on like one thing or a few things you can handle. I do feel like if you're not sure how to move forward or where to move forward, things are going to rearrange so you have a clearer path forward. But I feel like you need to step back first. So I hope that makes sense first and foremost for you in your situation. I do feel like you do have a change. Give me a second to get more of the information. But they're saying you have a change coming. And sometimes when you're just pushing in the wrong direction, things get blocked until that change happens and you see like, oh, I'm supposed to go this way or something like that. So that's, they're kind of they want me to give that message to you as well. Our Lady of the Whispering Heart here. So let me see here. If you're holding yourself back from anything or holding yourself back from going in a direction that's like in pursuit of your dreams, I would definitely like go towards what you like dream of. If you're like trying to pick a direction or anything like that. I also get this message for you, and part of that step back message is with this card, if you get silent, you'll hear the answer, is essentially what I'm getting. So an afternoon of silence, a day of silence, a silent retreat, whatever calls to you where you have silence, could be a long walk. You're going to start getting some of the answers you need as you give yourself that silence. So like no podcast, no general reading on YouTube. It's okay if you do that too. But in addition to those things, like definitely give yourself space and time to like hear yourself. I get this message as well for you, like you already know, but like maybe you have some regrets and you're wary of making like a wrong choice somewhere. I would really trust your heart, honestly. I feel like in some ways you do know what to do, even if you don't think you do. And part of that silence might be getting some of those realizations or hearing yourself more clearly on that. I'm going to pull another card for you here. Our Lady of the Sacred Waters here. Let's see here. I keep getting these like visuals and messages of like birth and giving birth. This is the second reading where that's kind of like showed up for some reason. And I get this message for you like, hey, just be patient and everything's going to birth for you. So I think that's part of the step back message as well. I don't feel like you're on the wrong track or anything like that either. So they were also talking about the Sacral Chakra for you. If you're going to work on your chakras, maybe to help, maybe clear out or work on your sacral and third eye chakras. That's what they're talking about to perhaps help you get more clarity on moving forward as well. But I do feel like you're going to be okay. So hopefully any of that helps you, Olivia Scott, and makes sense so far as far as guidance for you and feeling stuck at the moment. I do feel like you're going to make the right choices coming up here. Sometimes you just have to wait on things to change a little bit, but hope that helped. Wait, there's more for you. Hold on. So what else would be highest and best to bring through for you at this time here? One message for you as well, Olivia Scott, is your purpose is coming online. So if things do rearrange really suddenly for you, it's just your soul calling you in a new or different direction. I feel like that's coming for you this summer. So that's it. I hope that was helpful for you. Hope that gave you anything. Hope it gave you everything you needed to hear, but I hope that helped you. So fully, if that's good, what would be the highest message for me to bring through next for you guys here? Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to click on this. Okay, Shelly Mitchell Hutt. Let's see what comes through for you. Fully, if that's good. How do you move forward with the person you love? Let's see here. How do you move forward with the person you love? Let's see what info they give me. Fully, if that's good. One, must that be gentle for me or them? One, I would be gentle is one thing they're saying first and foremost. I'm getting to be gentle with them. Also, I would move forward slowly with them. treat it like a dance and not a rush. And what do I mean by that? Because they're showing me this visual of a dance, and like with a dance, you usually want to move in some type of unison, like as they step their right, if you're facing each other, as they step their right foot back, you're stepping your left foot forward, or you're not trying to rush them through anything. You're kind of you're dancing with them through life. So that's where the slow message came in, where it's kind of just like move slowly with them, like don't try to rush things with them. I feel like they are a great person with the person you love. Are you guys in a relationship right now? One thing I would recommend for you is like seeing where they're at with you. Writing these down as dance tips. Oh yeah. Honestly, like I would say, like you need to see where they're at with you, and go from there. So where are they at with you here? How does this person you're in love with, or that you love, that you're talking about here, feel about you here? I feel like they like you. I'm not sure how far they're ready to go with you right now. Right now, I mean, in some ways, like I'm getting a message to proceed with caution. Like definitely don't say anything you don't mean. I don't know why I want to say don't rush the situation 20 bajillion times, but they keep giving me the words don't rush the situation. Like take care of where they're at and what they need. And I don't know why they're showing me tiptoeing. So what's up with the tiptoe? And again, like be gentle with their feelings. I feel like they might be a little bit raw, or they could be a little bit raw right now. So they like you, but take it slow. So hopefully any of this is helping you. Sometimes I do like to have a bit more like context when I channel the messages through, but hopefully that's helpful at least for you right now here. I wouldn't walk away from this person. I did just check in like, oh, should you walk away? And they're like, no. The new tattoo for me or for you? Because if it's for you, but for Shelly Mitchell Hutt, I hope that helps at all for your situation. If you have more like of your ex-lovers who have reconnected. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense what I've been saying then. That all kind of tracks. It's okay to keep going with it. Just be gentle with it, essentially, is what I'd say. No sudden movements. I would also let them lead the way is something I'm getting. Talk to them about it. See where they're at. Don't push them. Let them take some of the first steps so you know where they're at and you can respond or react accordingly. And do your best not to assume things about their intentions right now. Like I would ask, that's something I want to say as well. Like I wouldn't make assumptions right now. I would like ask them, and they'll tell you what they want, but I wouldn't walk away from this quite at this time. And of course, like let it develop. And if you feel like that's the right course of action in the future, trust yourself. But right now I wouldn't walk away from it, Shelly. But I would definitely be patient. So that kind of makes sense with some of those messages. I want to go back to the proceed with caution message just in case about that here. Okay, one of the messages for you is don't create stories about where it's going before it goes somewhere, if that makes sense. Like, don't create stories in your head before something happens. Just like let it play out. I would definitely hold it loosely. What does that mean for you? Just have a little bit of healthy detachment, I guess, like from the outcome, from the situation. I know it's difficult when you love someone and you really care about them. For your sake, do your best to detach just a little bit, and it doesn't have to be like you hide away in a cave by yourself, excuse me, and just like have him, do a wilderness hunt to find you. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for you. Don't try to force anything. So hopefully that all makes sense as an answer for you. For you, I'm getting it's okay to take them back. A lot of the times when it is like an ex back kind of thing, usually the answer is like, no, there's better for you. I feel like this person's okay. Just take it slow. So I hope that helps. There's a little bit more for you. What else is there for you, Shelley? Shelley Hunt, Shelley Mitchell Hunt, Shelley. Let's see here. I would really let them show you what they want. That's another message they have. Because they're a little iffy right now is what I'm getting. They're not totally sold. So I hope that helps. I paid for a cave tour and immediately was like, come on now. Oh, sorry. Hey, I didn't mean to click on that, but I guess I'm supposed to answer it. Jesse McCartney Official asks, will I start dating soon? I'm getting summer and autumn for you this year, by the way. But yes, you will. You might have... Okay, you might have a couple bum dates. Don't worry about that. Don't get flustered. It can just be part of the process sometimes when you're dating. And it's part of you figuring out what you want and like who's right for you. And sometimes it's the universe showing you like, hey, you don't want this type of person, or, you know, or hey, here's a bit more detail about what you want. Like, here's this example of what you don't want, or here's this thing. Are you sure this is what you want? So, there's going to be a couple dates that you don't like. But you will start dating soon. I would definitely hang in there and like keep going with it and like keep the pressure on it. And what I mean by keep the pressure on it, I don't mean like keep the pressure on one particular person or like you just keep putting the pressure on it and the pressure to go on dates and things like that. But the pressure on the overall concept where like you're swiping right on the dating apps, you're putting yourself out there on multiple dating apps, you're showing up for the dates, you're you keep putting yourself out there for love. That's what I mean by putting pressure on it, where like you keep showing up essentially. So you're not putting pressure on any person, but more on, in a sense, like your love life, interestingly enough, is the message they have for you as well. So I wouldn't hold yourself back. I'd kind of swan dive into like, okay, what will it take, you to go on some dates and start dating soon? What will it take for you to get out there in the right ways and just start asking the universe those questions? So I hope that helps. Okay, Q&A. Miss A Swan, hello. Should you stay at your current job? Yes, for now. I would start looking, though, and start inviting in a new opportunity. You will have one. Stay for now is the answer I'm getting for you, though. So I would definitely start looking and seeing what your options are, because they're showing like a set of eyes looking out from behind these like bushes, essentially. They gave me an image more, it was more as like a cartoon than it was like a literal pair of eyes. But so I wouldn't tell your employer, but I would start lining things up and getting your ducks in a row to look at what else is out there and possible for you. Because there is better for you, but it's not necessarily time to leave right now. Next year might be a good time for you to leave your job. That doesn't mean don't start lining things up now, because if you get a cool opportunity, like awesome, go for it. But the job you're in now isn't the job for you long term, I'd say, or too much longer, but at the same time, it's like long enough is what they're saying. So I'd get prepared to leave. I wouldn't leave yet. Hope that makes sense. And don't feel like you need to like come back and wait for my like go on when to leave. If you feel like it's lined up and you feel good about the next job and it's a better position, like don't feel like you need to like come back and be like, oh, can I go now? It's just, that's the advice I'm getting for you. 'Cause you'll know. So I hope that helps. So next, okay, didn't mean to click on that, but all right, we're answering it. Keisha33 asks, anything that they need to know? So fully for that is good. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take a sip of this. Ooh. Okay, so fully for that is good. What does Keisha need to know? Okay, so this is sounding pretty general for starters, but we'll see what it turns into, because Our Lady of Resurrection coming out here again for you. Well, again for this live, but first time for you. And they said that you're going through a change that might be a little bit obvious here. But one thing I'm getting for you is your focus needs to shift. Like the direction you're going. I feel like it's a good direction, but there's more for you, and they just want you to like broaden your view of like what's possible for you and where to go. And like there is a message. Let me see how they want me to give this message here. 1 second. I feel like you have certain goals potentially that are non-negotiable, or you will. Try not to get caught up in you getting there looking a specific way. It's kind of like if you're trying to get to California, like there's multiple roads from like Florida to California, I think. I mean, obviously, yeah, like there's different highways, there's different interstates, there's different ways you could go, different scenic routes. So don't feel like you need to go one way. There's like multiple aligned ways that things could play out for you that would be really good. And sometimes when you get really stuck on one, it kind of limits your options. Don't do that, essentially, is a message I'm getting for you. With Owl Spirit Animal coming out on this card here, what they're pointing my eyes to Owl and just saying your knowing is coming online, which is really cool. They're showing Owl Spirit Animal. It's like, Owl Spirit Animal, got your back. And it was almost like a weird, cheesy, like old action movie or something. But with Owl Spirit Animal there, it's kind of like your back is covered right now. So you kind of don't need to worry too much. Like if you get confused on anything, like you're going to know what to do about it. Like if things get a little bit disconcerting, like it's going to be okay. Like you're going to see everything you need to see. And I'm getting the visual with Owl helping you like to broaden your horizons. But also like if you need to broaden your horizons, but also simultaneously like narrow your scope, if that makes any sense as a message, like they're kind of showing me that, where it's like you're opening up what's possible, but then you're narrowing in on what the best possibility is. It's like a weird message that I'm getting. They're also showing this visual of like this owl, like, because another thing owl does, of course, is like swoop down and like get its prey. So it's showing this owl, and like in this owl's field of view, there's like this target, like reticle or whatever it's called, and it's like locking on to something. So I'd say owl is also going to help you to lock onto what you need to lock onto, so that you can move in the right directions. Any other messages for you that you need to know at this time? Flip for your highest good here. For some reason, they're showing you singing, but they're showing you almost like opera singing. I'm not saying you're an opera singer, but they're doing like the major scale, like they're practicing the major scale, if you're familiar with any of that here. And maybe that's something you need to do, is just sing, just exercise your voice in some ways, even if it's just to yourself in the shower, essentially. But what is the main message with the singing for you here? You might just literally need to sing, honestly, and I'm not saying you need to make that career if that's not your goal or what you want to do, but I feel like that would be healthy for you for some reason. I don't feel like this is a specific message for you, but it's an interesting thing. But I know there's one channeler, I'll watch his work, Lee Harris, I'll mention him a lot on the live sometimes. But one time he was talking about like ways to warm up or like get your voice going, like even just like your voice in your life to speak your truth or to communicate. And he's like, well, a good way to warm up is just literally to sing and to like sing scales and like utilize your voice to like warm it up. And like, you know, it was a really interesting idea, I thought, and like a really cool way to go about that. So for anyone else who might want to try that or needed to hear that, maybe that's a cool thing to try if you're struggling with your voice. Maybe that'll unblock some things for you. One message for you as well, Kishe, hopefully I'm saying that correct, Lee. There is like a deep healing rolling through the collective, so that's going to be hitting each of us at a different time period where like, and I'm seeing it really go into the Sacral Chakra, but also into like the depths of us. So it's like a really deep healing, ancestral clearing. It's kind of like multiple facets to it. That's something that's going to be coming for you, where just like, if something triggers you more deeply than it usually would, or you find yourself like at the depths of healing is how they're showing it to me. Like they're showing this like pool, this like deep pool, but it's like in nature, and like you're at the bottom of it, like staring up, and you're not drowning, you're just like in the depths of your healing. That's something that's coming up for you if you're not already in it, is something I'd say. So just like be aware, like that's a bit of what's going on, is it's like it's just a collective healing that's rolling through, and your healing is a part of that. You know, that's as above, so below kind of a message here. They're showing me citrine. That would be a great crystal for you to have on your person or to build a crystal grid around right now. Like they're showing me citrine and selenite and maybe like black tourmaline, and then like a green crystal, like jade, like a crystal grid made out of those crystals might be a good one. Excuse me, for you. I feel like that would shift some things as well here. And they're also showing me like they're giving me this visual of you with like antennae. And it's like these antennae are kind of like rearranging. Like you're gonna start getting your metaphorical antennae like put in the right positions essentially, so that you can either receive messages or so that you have like more clarity for you, whatever that looks like for your like, if you're someone who is like more psychic or intuitive, or that could just look like getting more clarity from the universe is something I'm getting as well. But you're going to start getting the messages you need to like, I'm getting to do everything you want to do, which is awesome. So anything else? And that makes sense a little bit with owl. Owl is about knowing. Knowing can be about claircognizance as well. Or one way, shape, or form, you get the information you need. Another message they have for you is you're going to blossom, which is cool. There is definitely a blossoming coming for you specifically. I'm getting over the summertime, though it might start like late spring. If you're in the southern hemisphere, that would be, you know, autumn for you into winter. But what's the message here with the blossoming here? I think one of the things that's really coming in for you though is growth. This year is something that's coming in. I feel like in some ways you've been like planted by the universe to grow. So you're going to start grouting, and you might have some growing pains and blossoming and growing into a new you, but also growing into a new life or creating the seeds for a new life through your growth essentially. But hopefully that all makes sense so far as like the messages you need to hear. I'd say you're on the right track. I really get things are going to skyrocket for you too, which is actually really cool. Showing me a rocket ship skyrocketing. And to me, what I'm getting with that for you is vast improvement. If things do need to turn around, is things turning around really quickly, or there's a big enhancement to your experience, to growth and abundance, essentially. That's it. So I hope that helped, Kishay. Hope that was good for you. Hope you have a great rest of your day, whether you be here or wherever you go from here. Texas Jess not messing around today. I appreciate that, Texas Jess. Hope you're doing well, by the way. I want to answer Rachel J. 11. They asked, should they resign next month and start freelancing? Not yet, is what I'm getting. I'd give yourself a little bit of extra time, is what I'm getting. I don't get as time to resign, but it will be soon. So I for some reason, I want to recommend you give yourself a little bit more time. How much more time here? Maybe like 3 months or 2 or 3 months. I don't know why that's important, but if you feel like there's a reason for that, then I would trust that. But that's what I'm getting more for you. I for some reason, I'm getting a message not to resign yet. I appreciate it, Texas Jess. Mom energy can be important. I think mom energy is underrated sometimes. I think everyone needs, well, I don't want to put that on people, but I was going to say everyone needs a mom, but I think sometimes mom energy is really good energy, I'd say, a lot of the time. Music to my life. What a cool music name. Or music name, username. What's stopping me to assess? So what is stopping, so nothing, so a proverbial mom. What is stopping what is stopping this person to ascend? So let's see what do you mean first and foremost? So one thing I want to say is if this is about like ascension, you know, like the shift in consciousness, ascension, fifth dimension or higher, I think we don't need to limit it to fifth dimension. Nothing. I'm getting nothing is stopping you from ascending if it's about the like, you know, the ascension on earth, the shift in consciousness, that whole thing. Nothing's really in the way of that. And in fact, you are ascending in that way. As far as what you mean with what's stopping you to ascend here, the only thing that's going to stop you from ascending, as far as what you meant with this question, are your personal beliefs and inhibitions, and fear, essentially, is what I'm getting. You really don't need to be afraid. And I get this message for you, like if you hold a belief that you can ascend no matter what, you're going to ascend. So I hope that helps for you first and foremost, music to my life. I did pull a card. I'm getting this is for everyone, not just you, but Our Lady of Sweet Rest coming out here. For some reason, I'm getting messages not to push yourself too hard. This week, I would rest, or take some extra time to rest, or not push yourself if you feel like you need to rest, but you don't want to. Like I would take that 15-minute break. I would sit down a bit longer than normal. I'd sleep in if you have the opportunity to. Maybe go to bed early one night or multiple. For some reason, for both you who asked this question and everyone else, I would definitely do that. Cool. Awesome. So hopefully that answers that for you, music to my life. Hope that helps. Yeah, that makes sense, priestess. Hope that helps. Let me know if you needed more answered there. Your fun employment week. Ooh, that sounds fun. Is that like between jobs? No, thank you. Someone with the username Uncle Sticky just requested to go live with me. I'm a little bit hesitant to request a live request from Uncle Sticky, just for multiple reasons. Anyways, No Regrets 222 asked, is hammocking a subconscious way of healing for them? Yes and no, it definitely can be. It's definitely like a safe space and a place to just be where healing can occur. I don't know if that's like the way of healing for you, but it's a way to invite it for you and where it can happen. So, I mean, you can definitely make it a place of subconscious healing, and just ask for that when you go hammocking. Prince Priestess, you said you've been seeing 999 still. Anything you need to do? I don't get there's anything you need to do. I would just not notice and acknowledge the signs. Because you'll know what they mean when it happens, is what I heard. I'm also hearing an end to heartbreak, which is really cool for you. So that sounds good. I hope that helps. Okay, they want me to go back to the Q&A box here. Q&A thing. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to see which one they want me to answer next. Who did I just... okay, didn't mean to click on this one, but I'll answer. Will K reach out to them again and ask to see them? So user 8833456789. Okay, that was a lot of good number string there. Anyways, will K reach out to me and ask to see? So will K ask out to this user and ask to see them again? I'm not sure what RS means. I mean, my body pendulum's going to... Are they going to reach out? I don't really feel they will. I'm getting no. You might have to reach out to them if you want to see them. I do feel like you'll hear from them. But don't be afraid to make the first move is something I'm getting as well in this scenario. And it's worth seeing them again if they want to, if you want to see them. So hope that answers that for you. But I would reach out to them. Okay, next question. Kazuma Scrub King asked, will they be successful in loving unconditionally? Yes, it might be a journey to realize what that is and what that's like, but I would definitely ask for that. I would ask to love unconditionally. Um, and once you're doing it, you'll get signs from the universe that you are. Um, and sometimes you do, by the way. I do feel like it's a possibility for all of us. Um, and try not to get wrapped up in loving unconditionally means that you're a steamroller for people, or loving unconditionally means you don't have boundaries. Um, because you can absolutely love someone unconditionally, and what would be a good example? Um, Maybe you love your friend unconditionally, but one, if they start like stealing from you, you still have to set the boundary and be like, no. And like, you still love them, but you're setting the boundary so that they can't hurt you and so that you can love them from a distance. Like, it's okay to love people from a distance if that's what it takes to love them unconditionally. The other thing might be like, maybe a friend really wants to date you, but you're just not as into them. And for instance, like, you could still love them unconditionally, but they're not who you feel called to or who you get is for the highest good for you to date. So it's like, it's definitely okay to say like, hey, like, I really appreciate you as a person. I think you're amazing. I don't feel like this is right for me. So you might not need to hear that, but unconditional love doesn't mean you don't have healthy preferences that are for the highest good, or it also doesn't mean you just put yourself in any situation with anyone because you love everyone unconditionally. I do believe it also means loving yourself unconditionally and having boundaries for yourself when it comes to connection on the human incarnate level. But hopefully this is starting to make sense for you. Like, it's possible to love unconditionally and then get triggered and realize you're triggered, and like, this emotion doesn't mean you don't love unconditionally. It just means like, you need to look after yourself and either heal the trigger or see what triggered it and see what needs to change. I hesitate to get into the whole metaphysical thing, like, oh, you are unconditional love, because at the highest levels you are love. So it's very possible to bring that through and just embody more of that. I don't feel like that's what this is about, though. But anyways, will you be successful in loving unconditionally? Yes. It's just going to be a journey of realizing what that is and how to go about it, and realizing in some ways you're really close or you've already been there, or so hopefully that helps you with that. Okay. Oop. Back to the Q&A. Leo Diaz Miami asked, how can they speed their abundance? They just got laid off. Okay. You're going to have a better job is what I'm getting for you first and foremost. The situation does turn around for you. But let's see what they can do. What can you do to help speed up your abundance or to help you regarding the situation? What would be highest and best for you to do here? Honestly, this is going to sound a little bit boring and obvious, but I would definitely take action. I would definitely be looking for another job. Citrine, especially natural citrine, is a crystal for abundance. They're showing me citrine. There are certain like green crystals like jade that are also crystals of abundance. That might be a good one. Tiger's Eye is a good abundance crystal, but citrine was the first one they really recommended for you first and foremost. Maybe have that on your person. You could build an abundance crystal grid. I would look up YouTube like Reiki for abundance on YouTube. There's videos for that can help speed that up. I would do just like a few, if not a bunch of things to set the intention for abundance. I would also be taking action in your personal life to like rectify the situation. You're going to be totally fine, by the way, is what I get. I don't really feel like you're going to be homeless if you have like a place. You're going to be taken care of essentially, but I would start looking essentially for a job. So you'll have abundance sometimes these forced changes are something that leads us to a better us, and it will lead to a better place eventually too, is something I'm getting as well. So it might be a journey, but you're going to have abundance. So I hope that helps first and foremost. What else is coming through for you? What else do you need to hear? Okay, Our Lady of Comfort coming out here as a card. Interestingly enough, like one of the things I hear for you as I pull this card is everything's taken care of. So you might feel like things just upended. At the same time, like there is a divine plan at works. The path is kind of set. The universe knows where you're going. I think at this point you just need to trust yourself, and trust the universe to get you to the next destination. Because you were definitely supposed to change jobs around this time, and get something better long term. I feel like you're going to get a better place, which is cool. But that's it. One more thing. Okay, one thing I'm getting for you is in some ways you're actually removing abundance blocks through this endeavor, this change, this thing that's happening. It's kind of undoing some of the knots around abundance that you've had. I would also focus on heart healing to help with abundance, and maybe also your third eye. So heart chakra, third eye chakra. Weirdly enough, I'm getting helping those areas out would help with your abundance as well. That's just what I'm getting. I know that might not be everyone's like logical common knowledge teaching on where to focus on, but that's what I'm getting as a channel information to focus on for you regarding that area. That would help, whether it's Reiki videos or anything like that. And also, of course, you already know this, but don't overspend right now. No big purchases unless you can't help it. So hope that helps, Leo Diaz. Yeah, give it a shot. And then, yeah. Also, like any Reiki videos for abundance on YouTube that you feel good about, you can do that too, Leo Diaz. For some reason, they want me to remind you of that one too. Anyways. Okay. The endless questions. Sometimes that reminds me, this is not a bad thing, but it reminds me of the lives sometimes, the endless questions. That's a good. So, fully flies good, Sita. How can you, what's the best way for you to deal with indecisiveness? One thing they want to say is like, when you know, don't second guess. I think one thing I'm getting is sometimes you have the answer and then you second guess. You don't need to do that. I would definitely I would trust yourself. You're someone that would be good to pull cards for you. If you don't already pull cards, I would definitely look into doing that for yourself. And then trust what you get. I think Oracle cards would be a good place to start. Angel decks would be a good place to start. Angel Answers, the Oracle card deck, would be a good one for you. They're showing me that one. Or any Angel Oracle card deck you feel called to. I believe there's an Archangel Oracle card deck by Diana Cooper. For some reason, they're recommending that one for you as well, if you don't already have that one. But pulling cards and starting to get clear with that could be a helpful way to start getting those answers or start pointing you in the right direction. It does open your intuition further when you're practicing that. And it's not like you practice that and sorry, where do you guys want me to go? Where would be the best way for me to go for this one? That's one way to start dealing with that, is start honing that in. For some reason, I'm getting all these pieces of advice for you that have to do with intuition. I know, practicing with a pendulum or body pendulum would be also good things just to work on. Because I feel like you're an intuitive person. You might just need practice, essentially, is what I'm getting for you, the endless questions. So that's some of the advice that they're giving. I'll give the advice just in case it helps you or someone else out there. But another way to, okay, there's like a lot of things coming to me. But another way to like feel into different choices is like if you're energy sensitive, you can get any energy from source. So you can feel how a certain situation or choice is going to turn out if you make that choice overall. So you can be like, okay, how will it feel if I make this choice? And you'll feel the energy of like how it will feel if you make that choice. Like, okay, thank you so much. I know what that feels. How will it feel if I choose this other option I have instead? And then you'll feel that one and what that will be like. And you can choose which one feels lightest and best. And if you don't already know about this modality called access consciousness, they want me to tell you about it. For you, the book Being You, Changing the World Is Now the Time by Dr. Dane Here might be a good book for you. There's a lot of info on, I guess they don't use the word discernment, but on discernment or like helping to make choices. Like for instance, for them, like, they're like, let them read the book. You don't need to explain all of it to them, to you. But so that book has some tools for choice making that could be helpful for you as well if you want to look into that. And what at the right time for the right people, I feel like access consciousness and their tools are really, really helpful when you're ready to start utilizing them. So I'm not really a certified access consciousness practitioner. I've looked into, every time I go to like take a thing, my guide's like, no, don't do it. So maybe it's just not for me at this time. But and they're like, no, because you have your own stuff to focus on. So fair enough. Fair enough, guides. But let me see here. For you, that book would be helpful. And again, they have tools that can help with like making choices or starting to perceive and discern in a better way for you. So anything else that would help you regarding indecisiveness here? So those are a lot of the tools and ideas they want to provide for you. And of course, if you have a trustworthy friend who has a good track record, it always does help to talk something out with a friend, as long as they're not projecting or putting their own agenda on you. I don't think that'll happen for you. I think you'll be okay. I don't think that'll happen for you if you have someone who has a good track record. I think you'll know if that's happening. So hopefully that helps. Thank you. I'll look up the book for sure. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. The book was called Being You, Changing the World Is Now the Time by Dr. Dane Here. Oh, okay. I did not mean to click on that, but here we are. Let's do it. But yeah, Being You, Changing the World Is Now the Time by Dr. Dane Here. I'll show you the cover really quickly. I've got it on my bookshelf. It's this boy. So it's this guy, and it looks like this. Hopefully you can see. We'll be on the chat here. You can get it on Amazon or anywhere else probably. But honestly, this book has been really good for me, especially like earlier in my journey. I still use the access tools. Good book though. I like it. It's probably been one of the books I've read or listened to an audiobook the most. I haven't really looked at it too much recently, but hopefully that helps someone else out there. Anna Monoside asked, what career should they do here? Okay, they're showing me healing first and foremost. If you haven't looked into energy healing, I'd look into that at least on the side. I'd also look into writing, whether that's poetry or some other form of writing is something they're showing for you as well. So what else for you would be good career-wise here? For Anna Menoside here. I feel like this is, I think I attract a lot of healers with the work I do, if I'm being honest, and a lot of people who have that energy with them or are in some way, shape, or form supposed to be out there helping people. But I'd say for you, one of the most important things about that is that you're helping people heal in some way, shape, or form. And helping to elevate others, that's another thing I'm seeing with you. And maybe they're like, as long as you're elevating yourself first. So maybe that's something you work on, is elevating yourself, elevating others. So any other things you should do as a career for you here? I would write. They're saying you need to write a book. Sorry, need is a strong word. I hesitate to, I mean, that's the message that came through, but writing, energy work, anything else that would be for your highest good as far as career for you right now here. If you need a job, it's totally cool. Get a job. Do the job thing. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you learn certain things that are really important for you through that job. Sometimes there's people in that job that need to meet you and gain something from it. It's not necessarily lower to do a job, like a 9-to-5 or whatever you all call it these days. But that being said, I don't really feel like it's your calling to do a 9-to-5 and a meadowside. You know what I'm saying? So anything else that would be good for you job-wise? I'd say okay. And my guys are like, well, you kind of already answered it. So yeah, I suppose I did. I want to go deeper for some reason. I want to see if there's a more specific method of healing or more specific job that would be for your highest good here. And I know someone else was asking about freelance work. I think for you as well, freelance work would be a good temporary solution if you needed to. But I feel like you're a businesswoman. I feel like you're more of a business person. So I'd say that is a good direction. I hope that at least helps to narrow it down for you, Hannah Meadowside. I hope that is helpful for you thus far. So let's see here. For you, I'd look into energy healing and a meadowside. Hope that helps. And writing. So I want to see if they give me something else though. I want to see if there's anything else that would be good as a career for you. All right. I don't know. I'm not getting too much else right now. So hopefully that's at least a good start or a good direction to look into. Let's see here. Okay. What would be highest message to come through? Okay. Susan H. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. Writing the thing I know I need to do, but avoid. Yeah. Rachel Doran, your channeling is so spot on. Thanks, Rachel. Good to see you. How's it going, by the way? So what can Susa H ask? What can they do to open up their abilities to channel here? Okay, a few things my guides like to recommend to open up channeling more. I would definitely practice automatic writing. In Lee Harris, who's a good channeler, I like a lot of his work. He does have this 33-minute, they showed me the image for it, this 33-minute audio guide. It's how to channel and why. He does talk a bit about that and some of his journey with channeling. It's not how I learned to channel. I was doing it before I went through that little audio guide, but I liked what he said, a lot of what he said when he went through it, when I went through it, excuse me. So channeling, practicing your automatic writing is a great way to practice your channeling, because one, it's calibrating you to channeling and to that higher experience, and it opens you up more as you do it. So what else can you do to open up your abilities to channel? That's probably the main one I'm getting, is just to start doing it. One thing that I did hear Lee Harris say, I'm trying to give credit where credit's due, that wasn't in that course was oh my gosh, one of the things, do you need to clear your throat chakra? No, you don't. One of the things that he said, and just some random other, it was either a interview he was being interviewed on or something that I watched. It was if you're newer to channeling and you go to practice automatic writing, it's even if you show up and you don't hear anything, if you're newer, that's okay. You're practicing getting in the frequency of receiving channeled messages. So it's like, even if you show up for the first day and you're just like, I got nothing, that's okay, because you're getting in the frequency of like asking spirit for channel messages, getting channel messages. And like once it happens and you know what it is, it's easier to ride that bike, so to speak. I like to use that metaphor, where it's like, you could probably read a whole book on riding a bike, but if you don't either get on the bike and pedal and figure it out for yourself and get the feeling for it and know what it's like, or, and I do believe like, oh my gosh, I'm getting off into all these tangents, or if you have someone like show you how to ride the bike, like, and once you get the feeling for it, then you can pedal and you're good. But that's kind of what let me see what they're going to say here. Like kind of what you need is that first experience. If you already have that first experience, keep moving in that direction is what I'd say, and keep practicing and showing up. And eventually it really takes off and gains more traction. The other thing that I wanted to say about like, because I suppose with like energy work and with channel material, whether it's a recorded channeling or channeling live or channeling a book, you can kind of get the energy of what it's like to channel and feel what it's like to channel like through those things. So it is possible to feel like what it's like to channel without, thinking you're having that experience, is something I'd say first and foremost. The other thing, another thing that is a good piece of advice, because I have a lot of just other advice that I've noticed has helped me, that's just as good. Listening to other channelers, especially people who are directly channeling their spirit guides, source, is good if you find ones that you're really resonant with and really like, because that can open up that for yourself as well. Like it opens your third eye, it opens your channeling faculties up more. It awakens that frequency within you could say, or that ability to do it. And also with channeled work, they want me to stop. So where do you guys want me to go? I'll talk about it too. The other thing with modalities like Reiki or other energy work modalities with the attunements is they can really open you up, and they can really open up your spiritual gifts and intuition and channeling and improve those things and your latent abilities. I have like attunements and like energy work attunements and like my channeling opening up and me doing energy work was something that I noticed opened up my channeling. And I noticed, I'm not going to say every boost I've had with channeling came after an attunement, because that's not true. I've definitely had big expansions and boosts to my gifts without receiving an energy work attunement or, directly like that. However, I have noticed times where I did have big improvements after an attunement to an energy work modality, whether it was Reiki or a different one. So I like to offer that advice too, just because that can be very helpful with those things. Another thing that can be helpful is just like getting an energy work session. I don't feel like you need this specifically. This is more just general advice. But just, there's like definitely stories I've heard of like people getting energy work sessions and then they have channeled experiences, or it like opens them up in some way, or like removes some type of knot or blockage or whatever, to them channeling more. So even like getting a good like Reiki session or energy work session can be something that opens you up more or unlocks certain things in you, especially if you're not doing that energy work for yourself, regularly, because that can really move things energetically, open you up, do things that are for the highest good. So I'd say some type of energy work can be helpful for channeling. The other thing about channeling is there's an energetic transmission, from source, fully for the highest good, that goes along with it. So the other thing about watching channelers or people going full channel mode is you are getting this like energy work done while watching them channel, essentially, or listening to their channel, whether it's recorded or live or what. So that's part of why channeling can help too. So anything else that would help you specifically with channeling further, opening up your abilities to channel? I would also just buy books that feel good to you and feel right to you on channeling. Like there's that one book, Opening to Channel, that I cannot remember. I just don't remember the name of the author. But it's something about buying a book or a course, or a ticket to an event that has to do with something you want to create or manifest. It just manifested automatically. For example, I bought a course. It was a Lee Harris course recently because it went on sale. It was like empaths versus narcissists. And the person I'm dating pointed it out in a big way too. Because like what I've noticed is like, there's an example I want to give that I can't give because it's not, it would be 18 plus, but it was for the highest good. It was all good. But I've found recently, like I'll buy a course on something and like that dynamic or thing starts healing or playing out or in a good way for the highest good, manifesting just by me buying it. I don't even have to go through the course. And so like empath versus narcissist, I bought it. And then my partner, person I'm dating pointed out, like that I was having these empath narcissist dynamics showing up and like getting worked out a bit further, or like things I was working through myself that like resulted from like past relationships like that kind of coming up and being worked through just after I bought that course. Because they were like, so did you start going through that course? I'm like, no. She's like, well, it kind of looks like that's starting to happen. So, and I've mentioned this before, and I think I initially heard that from Lee Harris too, that concept, but like just buying a book with the title like opening the channel, like you're manifesting opening the channel, you're manifesting that and doing that work just by buying it. And like I guess you could say moving the energies in that direction, or the work's being done just through the intention alone, and through you taking that action of buying the book or whatever. So I think sometimes I have bought certain books just because of that, but that's another tip I suppose you could say for you, is like buying a book that's like opening the channel or taking a channeling class or course that feels good to you. I think, and my guys are like, it doesn't matter, it just needs to resonate for you. So that's what I'd also advise for you, just to help with that, regarding like just opening the channel more. So I hope that helps for you. Okay, I'm getting that's all you need as far as like from me right now, as far as advice or messages. So I hope that helps. And that was a lot of info, so it helps you. Perfect. You're on the right track, Charlie Angel 77. Any messages for you today? Hey, Jen loves the boys room. How's it going? You're welcome. Who was I going to answer? Sorry, I got lost. I didn't get lost. Visual Zen in school for holistic health coaching is something you definitely need to do. You will be successful, but there's going to be more to it than just that, I'd say. I think there's going to be other things you're doing. There's going to be an expansion to that endeavor that will allow it to be more successful, is what I'd say. But stay that path is what I want to say for you as well, is what I get to say for you. Loretta, you are on the right track. For some reason, that seems to be a theme today. Don't push yourself too hard. Our Lady of Becoming coming out for you. Charlie Angel 77. Loretta, don't push yourself too hard is what I'm getting for you. They're giving me this quote. They're showing me the gold on this this robe that Mother Mary is wearing in this card. Sorry, I have it unmirrored in the picture, so I'm used to like moving my hand with the mirror, but it's not. So I'm trying to like figure out how hands work right now. That's a joke, but they're pointing my eyes to the gold here, and essentially like they're giving me this quote. What do they want me to say here? It's about abundance for you, but it's also about honoring your body is what they're talking about. Because the quote from this meditation, which is a Lee Harris meditation, funny enough, it was like activate your abundance meditation or something like that. But there's this quote from the meditation, and he says like, or he channels through like, this body is gold. But what's the meaning for you regarding the quote here? It's about honoring yourself and your body and your needs. And I'm getting this message for you, like your body can be a key to abundance, like taking care of it, making sure your body is happy and healthy and activated and doing well. And it's not like you can't be abundant if you have something you're going through chronically. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, and I'm kind of, let me see where they want me to go with this one. One thing I'm saying is being healthy can be a part of abundance, first and foremost, and just living a good life. Number two, this is kind of more from Access Consciousness, but one thing they talk about, and I've heard many different people talk about this, so it's not just from them, is like, you know, your body is in some ways like its own being. You know, you're you, but your body is its own being. So sometimes working with giving your body what it's asking for and what it needs, like your body can start to allow you to have more of what you want as well. It's like a funny thing. So it's like, so sometimes like taking care of yourself and your body can allow you to receive more in life in general as well. Okay, don't want me to change direction with the message now for you. So what else would be highest must bring through for you at this time here? They want me to go back to the body is gold thing here. And maybe that meditation would be a good one for you. And that's, I'm not trying to, I guess it's okay. I'm not trying to send everyone to, okay. But anyways, that meditation I think is free on Lee Harris. It's leeharrisenergy.com is his website. And it's like, if you sign up for his mailing list, like that meditation comes free with that. So if anyone feels called to, I mean, honestly, I strongly recommend his work if you feel called to it, but that might be a good meditation for you. It's like that abundance activation meditation or whatever it is. That one has actually helped me in big ways. And they want me to tell the story, but like there's one part of the meditation where he tells you to envision like a golden canvas in front of you. And he's like, then on the canvas, like intuitively, like see anything that's in the way of your abundance. And at one point, I got the visual of like it was the person I was dating at the time. And I was like kind of in the middle of like, oh, like this choice of either breaking up with them or not. And so it was like this big, like, hey, you need to either leave this person or this person's in the way of your abundance or something. And I really didn't want to see it at the time, but that's just what was coming through. So that meditation's helped me in the past. I'd happily recommend it to anyone who wants to activate their abundance or look into that. But besides that, what other messages would be for your highest good before we move here? I would look at your crown chakra and focus on like either healing that or balancing that out more. I don't think it needs balancing. I think it needs healing, interestingly enough. So any Reiki videos on YouTube for the crown chakra, any of your own mantras or things you do to help your crown chakra, I feel like that would balance things out for you in general, Loretta, is what I'm getting, is some type of crown chakra healing. I'd say sacral would be the second one to focus on, but for some reason they want to recommend your crown chakra, and just opening to the divine here. I feel like your soul is speaking to you pretty loudly. I would be listening to any messages you get or like synchronicities around you or any strong nudges to move in a certain direction or say certain things, or if you feel compelled to like step forward or do certain things or say things to certain people, I'd listen to that. Because in some ways you might be called in a different direction for you in the near future here, where you're kind of, it seems to be a theme today, rearranging things in your life, or just like taking a left turn where you thought you were going to turn right on your path, metaphorically speaking. You're like, yeah, that's coming. So keep that in mind as well. I'd keep an open mind that being on the right track is sometimes being on the right track to a different direction. So hope that makes sense to you. Hope that's helpful. So let's see. How is everyone doing today? Brandon, I have to head out, and I think I'm the only mod on. Hey, no worries. I really appreciate it. That helps, Charlie Angel. Perfect. I'm glad to hear it, Charlie Angel. Texas Jess. Yeah, no worries. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll handle things. Sir Water. Thanks, China Moon Girl. All right. Texas Jess, you have a beautiful day. Everyone, send some love to Texas Jess. She is always helpful. She's been on these lives very consistently, and none of the mods are ever obligated to be here. They all do it just by volunteer. So thank you so much to Texas Jess. Have a beautiful rest of your day, please. And a big thank you to any of the other mods that are here, either just kind of watching or anything else. If you're up for it, China Moon Girl, because my guide said yes once you... So, there you go. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Welcome to the moderator, moderator crowd. And again, China Moon Girl, never an obligation to be here. And of course, thanks for joining the moderator team. I hope you are blessed in the highest and best ways for you. I hope the universe provides you with ease and grace in moderating and in the rest of your life too for the highest good. And of course, may the highest and best unfold. So, okay. So, also, I get China Moon Girl is a great person. That's coming through for them too. So thanks for being here. And if you have to get out of here at any point too, no worries. Okay, so let's see what's next here for the Q&A here. Dave Sultana asks, will they get a stay-at-home job in April? I'm not sure you will in April. I do get May. You will get one though, is what I'm getting. I would be patient. I would keep plugging away at the action steps you need to do to get one, whether that's, taking action, applying for jobs, things like that. It's coming. I would keep taking action on it. I wouldn't just wait till May, but it might be May when that shows up. And you are going to get a stay-at-home job is what I get. So hope that helps, Dave. Starlight Worker asks, should they move to Durbanville this year? I'm getting no when I see your question. I don't feel like it's a bad place for you. But that's just what I'm getting for some reason. I feel like there's a better place for you is what I'm getting. It's okay if you do move there. It's not the end of the world. It's not like your life is going to tank, because it's not. I do feel like it would be an uplift, but it's not the right option long term is what I'm getting. I think it'd be a great temporary solution. So I hope that helps, Starlight Worker. Oh, I can ask a poll. Ooh. Never mind. I'm not going to do a poll. Ooh. Sorry, I'm looking for the next question they want me to answer here for the Q&A. Guys, I'm sending you lots of love. I'm happy you're here, first and foremost. I appreciate you guys. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm trying to multitask. Anna Starborn. Did I answer a question for you? That doesn't matter. Oh, I love you guys too. No, you guys are great. I appreciate getting to show up every Sunday for you. Also, I'm pushing, now that a lot of people are here, I am pushing back my start time for the lives an hour. So I'm going to be starting at 11 a.m. North American Central Time instead of 10 a.m. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to be on a little bit later than normal. So hopefully that works for you guys. You make every Sunday a little brighter. Oh, thanks, Southpaw. So for Anna Starborn, why are they so scared to open up to people? What would be for the highest good to know about that here? I'm getting past experiences, including past life experiences, is something that's showing up for you. I get like there's a past life where you took a vow of silence as a monk, is something that's showing up for me, interestingly enough. And it's not like that was something you did to escape from people. It's just like it carried over a little bit, is something I'm getting, interestingly enough. So that's one of the things they're talking about there. And like sometimes just hearing about a past life, by the way, when they channel through about a past life, it does help the soul to realize like, oh, I don't need to hold on to this anymore. And it can kind of help heal that. I heard that from, it was on a podcast. It was a Lee Harris podcast, but it was Ainsley McLeod, I believe is his name, or McLeod, who's a pretty well-known past life psychic. But I don't know, but that's what's coming through for you first and foremost on that. That's one of the reasons. I am also getting like, and it doesn't mean like trauma with a capital T, but childhood trauma, just certain areas you weren't well received, or maybe you were punished for certain ways you might have opened up, or certain ways your needs weren't met is what I'm getting. Not that you had a terrible, terrible childhood. If you don't feel like you had a terrible, terrible childhood, that's just like what's coming through. there might have been certain areas where that happens. That's what I'm getting as well, as far as why you're scared to open up to people. As far as what would help you open up to people for your highest good here, this is one of those things where just inviting healing energy to flow through you. If you already do some type of energy work, perfect. If not, it might be something to look into, just to kind of to clear certain past things out could be really helpful. Like the visual they're giving me is like a pink and white, like loving, healing light from source, and like invite it like through. You can breathe it in from source and let it go wherever it needs to go, or just like kind of run it through your system like you would with Reiki or another energy work modality. Just kind of invite that through and kind of let it flush your system of what doesn't serve your highest good, as something that could help heal that. Because in some ways it's rearranging your chakra system to be more open to opening up to people is, interestingly enough, what I am getting, because it's multiple areas and it's more like alignments of the energetic systems that this pertains to is what I'm getting. So that could help be that could be something that helps align things for you to help open up to people more here. Is there anything else you need to know about regarding why you're scared to open up to people so much here? And like in some ways you're afraid of punishments, and it's not like, you know, like the Punisher shows up and punches you if you start opening up to people. It's more like either rejection or people using it against you, or people walking away from you because they think you're crazy or something like that, but you're not crazy. I do feel like you're an interesting case with this, but anything else that would be for your highest good regarding the situation here? Also, if you do want a specific chakra to focus on, Sacral Chakra, which has been kind of a big focal point for quite a few different people since this year started, I feel, would be a good one to focus on as well here. I do feel like you are safe to open up. It just, you have to find the right people that are safe to open up to. I feel like that would help too. Weirdly enough, another piece of advice they have for you is energetic protection and feeling safe energetically, so it feels safer to be vulnerable, or you won't feel like there's repercussions to opening up, which there won't be, is what I'm getting as well. And like one thing you could, I don't know if this will help if you haven't already, but one thing you could do is just open up to source, to God, to your spiritual team, to the angels, like even if it's just sitting by yourself and like in your head, like talking to them, or to yourself talking to them, or I don't know if journaling's it, but that could help, you know, rearrange some things too. But try opening up to God or spirit, whatever your name for the highest, essentially, and see how that feels, because that's always a safe way to just open up, like either through, I guess you could say, prayer, or just like a dialogue. And even if you're in the place to hear back, perfect, because they'll talk to you and they'll walk you through it or help you out in some way. If not, that's okay. Like what you're doing is kind of giving it to God and like starting to feel comfortable opening up to something, someone, and that might give you practice or help you to feel safer to open up to people when the time comes. And also, once you see it's safe to open up to people, you'll open up more. I think you just need a safe space and a safe person with which to do that. So if you have not gotten therapy, if you find a good therapist, if you haven't already, that could be something you try. Because I think like any opening up is progress. So I would just take baby steps. I'd walk yourself towards it, and see what happens. You will overcome this, is what I'm getting as well. But that's what I'm getting as some of the reasons for you. Oh, I love that, China Moon Girl. Yeah, I talk to myself and imagine someone is listening, because someone always is. That has helped a lot. Yeah. And so hopefully that helps Anna Starborn. Well, anything else about this here? I would also look at heart healing from the past, and sitting with some of that. That could be helpful as well. Hope that helps you, Anna Starborn. Yeah. Yeah, I always think it's interesting sometimes. My guys are telling me to talk about it, so I'll talk about it. Like sometimes I'll say certain things and I'll just see like a drop in the viewership. It'll go from like 115 to like 97, but I don't know. I'm just bringing through what I'm guided to bring through, so I'm not going to change what I'm saying or bringing through just to appease people. I'm not sure if I was supposed to say that or what, but okay, yeah. Any encouraging reminders for this gal, for China Moon Girl? So, what would be highest must to bring through for China Moon Girl? Okay, they're showing me. Okay, ooh, interesting. Our Lady of Holy Fire. I need to shuffle this deck, they're saying as well. So, what do you need to know for your highest good here? For some reason, I get this message of you overcoming. They're saying like you are overcoming. So there might be some hurdles coming up or that you're going through. I would, one, ask for ease and grace, but I feel like you're going to be overcoming most of them with ease and grace. So in some ways, it's a reminder that Spirit is with you, and obstacles are here to grow you or to lead you in a better direction, not to like hinder you or harm you. So that's one reminder that they want to say for you first and foremost. For some reason, there's a message of like keep your fire as well with Our Lady of Holy Fire. For some reason, I want to say like running shoes on deck. Yeah. For some reason, I want to say like you're a fiery person, and it's okay to keep that going. Like you're supposed to be that way. I feel like you help people. I'm not sure if you feel like you help people, but even if it's in little ways, like you definitely help people. Another message I'm getting for you is you do have a lot of good like rewards coming. Sometimes I hesitate to use terms like reward or like punishment because I don't really feel like the universe ever like punishes us. But that's something I'm getting for you is like you do have like rewards coming, just for like, I'm not a huge karma person, but for good karma is what they're saying. For things you've done right is what I'm saying. I'm also not a right and wrong person all the time, but that's what I'm saying as well. Another message, they're showing me these birds. They're pointing my eyes to the birds on the card. I have a friend who calls me lightning in a bottle. It doesn't surprise me. That is kind of your essence. But they're putting my eyes to these birds and they're saying you have golden opportunities coming with the golden birds on this card. So you might not think you do. And there is also a message of like, hey, don't overlook the opportunities right in front of you, whether that's opportunities for personal growth, or opportunities you know are there, but you kind of forget about. But you do have more opportunities coming as a message coming through for you as well, China Moon Girl, which is awesome for you here. So there is also a hibiscus flower on this card. And I'm not a licensed physician. Disclaimer, I'm not a licensed physician, nor is this intended to replace legally the advice of one. But hibiscus, according to my herbalism friends and people I know, is good, I believe, for helping with, I can't remember if it was stress or blood pressure. That's a good flower for you to work with, though, is what I'd say. That's a good flower essence to work with. It's a good flower energy to work with. Hibiscus tea might be good to look into for you if that resonates for you. But it can be a very healing flower, which is cool. I also get this feeling of refreshment with it, which is cool as well. But that's something that they're talking about for you. Maybe it was about blood flow. I don't know. Anyways, this is the next card for you. Oh, I need to shuffle it. They're saying no, that's the card though, so I'm gonna bring it up here. It was Our Lady of the Ripening Vine. Sorry, was coming out for you here. That's the one that came out for you. And they're putting my eyes to the pears specifically at the top of this card. What is the message with the pears for you here? The message they're saying is every fruit has its shape. Every fruit is exactly how it's supposed to be. Just because you're not everyone's fruit doesn't mean you're not the right fruit, or just because you're not everyone's favorite fruit doesn't mean you're not the right fruit. And for some reason, dragon fruit is the one that is showing up in my intuitive visuals. Dragon fruit is a really unique fruit. Some people absolutely love dragon fruit. For some people, it might not be their jam because it is a little bit of a unique flavor. But that's okay. Be dragon fruit. because for the right people, you are perfect. Don't try to like change your shape to look like other fruit. Don't try to be other fruit, like be you. Because if, I don't know, if dragon fruit didn't exist, like the world would just be missing out on dragon fruit. Like it's supposed to be there, you know? So, so for the people that love dragon fruit, like be the dragon fruit that you be, not literally. But that's like a message that they want to, a reminder they want to bring through for you as well. So another thing they're showing me with this dove here, there's like these feathers kind of falling off of it behind it. Sorry. And the message I'm getting is you're shedding as I point my eyes to it. So I would let yourself shed. I would let yourself be a new person. And let go of old things. I'm getting this message like, I'm not sure if you're even a hoarder. I don't feel like you really are, but I wouldn't like hoard things. Like spring cleaning is a good time to, well, of course it's always a good time to release toxic energies, I'd say, but I'd release toxic energies, anything you don't need that you want to get rid of, that's for the highest good to get rid of. It's a good time to clean things out and just kind of unpack things and take a second look at them and see like, do I need this? Is it okay to let this go? Is one thing I'm kind of getting. So, but it's a reminder, like you're shedding energetically. And you might go through that for the next like few months. I feel like it's going to be gentle. I don't think it's going to be super hardcore. Just keep that in mind. Like if little things do pick up or you kind of hit pockets of certain like experiences or anxiety, you're just releasing. There's nothing wrong with you is something I'd say. So if you have a rough day, like chalk it up to releasing and move on. Don't get stuck on like, what was the bad karma or you know, or what did I do or anything like that. Cause it's not that. That's it is what I'm getting. It's also a reminder I'm getting of you just to be creative and allow creativity in your life and allow creativity to flow. Cause I feel like you're meant to be someone who's creative, whether that's a career or not. I think that's up to you, but, hope that helps, China Moon Girl. I hope those are good, encouraging. Well, I don't know if those were encouraging. Is there anything encouraging coming up for you here? They're giving me the word renewal and like a breath of fresh air is what they're showing me as well and giving me. Or what I'm getting. What's the best way to communicate this? One thing they saying for you is you are a breath of fresh air for other people. Another thing is you're going to get a lot of renewal in the next few years here, like a renewal of you, renewal in your life. It's kind of like life hitting the refresh button. And for some reason they're showing like, you know, when you hit the refresh button on like a web page and it's like, it updates and all of a sudden something that wasn't there is like there. They're almost showing me that, but what does that mean for you here? It's almost like this message, like there might be certain things you think you don't have, but you actually have them. And so life is going to kind of hit the refresh button. So it like pops up and you see that you have it. It's a weird message. In some ways you're getting refreshed. So you're updated and you're like, you're full you, up to date. And they're saying that's it. So I hope that helped you, China Moon Girl. I hope that was some good reminders and messages for you. Finally. Nope. Helpful Soul 777 asked, should they pursue psychic mediumship or their own business? Thank you. Yeah, both. Definitely the first one. I would make sure one piece of advice that they have for you that I'm getting is make sure you're getting the proper training with someone you respect and feel really good about. They have good energy. You feel good about them. Don't go with someone you feel like half good about. Like it's got to be full good is what they're saying for best results. And you'll feel a lot better about your work if you do that. Say it or don't say it. Okay, what do you want me to say? What would be highest message for me to say here? Make sure it's someone who aligns with what feels highest and best to you and aligns with your truth and aligns with what spirit shows you. And not someone who says random fear-based things is what they're saying. Because I hesitate to say it. I really don't want to say it. But sometimes I seem to notice that with certain psychic mediums where they just kind of have a lot of fear-based ideas or things that aren't quite accurate, especially according to what I channel and what my intuition tells me. And my intuition and channeling have never steered me wrong. I've never had an issue, so I really, that's just something that they want to say for you, and that I really hesitate to put out there because I really don't like throwing people under the bus or feeling like I am, but that's just something to potentially watch out for as you venture into that or find someone to learn from or work through if you need that. But yes to both, definitely the first one. Hope that helps. And you definitely have the goods to do it. So I hope that helps. Well, sorry, I keep clicking on people's, oh my gosh, messages and like doing all this. Okay, sorry about that. But Annabelle, you won't feel stuck and confused for long is one thing I'm getting as I see your question. You are headed in the right direction even if you don't feel like it. And if they're showing you in like fog, and sometimes that fog metaphorically in life is there so you choose the right path. Maybe if you had a very clear visual of all your options and choices, you'd go down the one that seems brightest and shiniest, but it's like a lie and it's not the brightest and shiniest. So the confusion has a design to it for you right now where the universe can usher you down the actual best path for you, even if it looked plain and simple or like bland on the surface. And it's kind of like a don't judge a book by its cover thing. But maybe like by that book's cover or that path's cover, it looked bland and simple. But once you get into it, it's so rich and it feels fulfilling and it's like what you're meant to do. But then you have like this book over here that looks bright and shiny and there's like gloss. And it's got the golden outline on the pages and it's so pretty. And then you open it up and it's just like the Bible, but rewritten by a narcissist is what they said. And it's just like the worst book you've ever read. And you're like, your life is ruined, you know? So that's what they're saying. So I would trust that like you're on the right track. Things are going to rearrange. Like the fog has a design. And you're not going to misstep is something I'm getting as well. There are potentially a lot of lessons for you in some of this next phase. I don't think they're going to be super harsh. That's just something I'm getting. But however, you have big dreams and sometimes the lessons are preparing you to own that and really go for it and succeed or get to a higher place with that. Whereas if you didn't have the lessons beforehand, you'd get there and like something would happen that would just like tank it, or like you would tank it because you didn't have the experiences you needed or something like that. So, and this is a good reminder for everyone, like if there's something somewhere you want to be that's like big or like vast or like up there, sometimes there's lessons, and you're manifesting it, sometimes there's lessons that come around to give us the experiences we need and teach us the things we need to know or help us become the person we need to become so we can hold on to that manifestation or thing once it shows up. And sometimes we get jettisoned in a different direction that's better for us. Like that happens too. Or sometimes we're shown why like maybe this thing we want isn't the thing and we actually, this thing would be so much better. And that happens too as well. But that's just a reminder they want me to put out there to you and for everyone listening actually. It's just like, sometimes you're not lost, you're just on the path, and sometimes the path looks a little bit disorienting. But that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the path or with you. It's just like part of the journey to get you there. And it's very rare that spirit will just drop you in the middle of some like confusion for no reason. Like there's a reason you go through what you go through. And they want me to say this as well. It reminds me of, it's this whole story, but my mom is a therapist. She has, I forget what kind of therapy, but she does therapy. More traditional, more leaning traditional, or at least it used to. I'm not sure where she's at with it right now. And for some reason, like for Christmas this past year, one of the gifts I was guided to get her was like this Native American, like it was a Native American artisan, an actual Native American made it. It was like horsehair pottery. It was this buffalo, or this bison. And I thought it was really random because I was like, well, it's not as cool as some of the other animals or things that were out there, but that's the one my guide said to get. So I got it. And when I gave it to her, she's like, oh, that's interesting. That has a lot of meaning. Because in my practice, what she said is in her practice, one thing she tells a lot of people is like, hey, and she does lean more Christian, which is funny. But what she tells people is like, hey, God will use all of your story. Kind of like the Native Americans would use all of a buffalo or bison. Like it would, like when they, kill their buffalo, they'd eat the meat. They would use the bones for tools. They'd use the the stomach as like a sack to carry things. Like no part of the buffalo went wasted. And then she said, just like that was the way with the Native Americans, God will use all of your story. Why am I tearing up? Who needed to hear this? To help people, or like as you go forward on your path. So that's like a reminder as well that for some reason my guides wanted me to share with you guys is like that story, and like how my mom used that symbolism, and like my mom said that was like significant to her. So I don't know why I'm crying, so I don't know who needed to hear that if you're crying, but yeah, hope that helps. Anyways, 99% sure there's a ladybug on my wall right now, so I'm taking that as a sign. Ladybug's a really good sign. Ladybug has a very positive meaning. Usually that's good luck, that's lightness, that's happiness. I almost want to say carefree. I started randomly crying 10 seconds before you. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why there was such a big empathic cry happening right there. But maybe I needed to. Yeah, maybe I needed to hear it. Or someone needed to hear it. Feffy what a great username. What they said is, oh, there you go, Bree. Feffy Bep asks, I can't tell if I'm stuck in a karmic situation. I'm getting no, or you won't be stuck. I'd say you're getting unstuck. Ganesha is showing up as a good deity to work with to get unstuck. Working with Ganesha, asking for Ganesha's help. He's the Hindu deity of removing obstacles. So that could be a good way to help you with that one. So nope, not stuck. I hope that helps as help, or as an answer, by the way, Feffy Bev. I like saying that. Jamie Lewis asked, should they wait until next year to date? I'd get no. No reason, like maybe give yourself a month, but you don't have to wait unless you really, really feel like that's the way to go. Beach to barn, I got yes, your move was the right direction for your kids. BHR Cub, just stuck. You're feeling stuck and you're not sure what to do to move forward here. Not my typical advice. For you, I'm getting just wait is the first words I'm getting for you. I don't really feel like you need to do anything right now. It's kind of this message of like, wait, and the answers will come. And it reminds me of, I think I used this analogy last live, but this Alan Watts speech. I don't listen to a lot of Alan Watts, but he was talking about water trickling along the earth. Like if you watch a garden hose run and it's running, like sometimes it hits this spot where it can't move anywhere, like this wall of dirt. But as the trickle keeps going, it just like it stops and it just raises until it can move. So if you feel stuck, sometimes you're just elevating, or there's pressure mounting, or your consciousness is elevating so that you can move forward at the right time here. And again, like I'm getting that similar message. Like sometimes you're held back so you don't make the wrong move. So weirdly enough, I'm getting this message like, don't move forward. I would kind of dig in and delve within yourself and work on things there, or like journal. And a good question for you to ask yourself is, what do you need right now? And not think too much about moving forward, but like, what do I need to give to myself or provide to myself? Like, what do I need? And as you give to yourself, that's going to move you forward, interestingly enough, because you'll feel spurred in the natural directions to heal yourself, to give yourself what you need, and to better your life. There's nothing you need to do, though. I'd say, like, interestingly enough for you, BHR Cub, I'm getting like wait would be a good move for you. Trish Moore 22, I would love a love reading if called. Yeah, let's do it. And I know I just kind of went to chat instead of Q&A box, but that's what I felt called to do. Okay, Our Lady Who Prevents Interference. Funny enough, one thing I'm getting for you, Trish Moore, is like, it has to be the right partner. If you feel held back, that might be why you feel held back. Trish Moore, it's got to be the right person. Is someone who's not going to pull you off your path, someone who's not going to be dead weight in your life. And and not someone who's going to add another sack of weight to your hot air balloon of your life that like drags you down. Because you're meant to fly. You're not meant to be stuck, or I'm not saying tied down as in like you're not supposed to have a long-term partner, but that's kind of what they're showing me, is like someone who keeps you trapped or stuck or limits you and I need to say this the right way, limits you in your behavior. I'm not saying like limits your behavior as in like, oh, now I can't go sleep with whoever I want because I'm in a relationship, that limits my behavior, but more like someone who's like constricting or like confining to you and like your dreams and goals or anything else you want to do in life or have. So you need the right person who supports you, and that's what you're calling in. So it can't just be anyone is one of the main messages for you. I feel like for the next person to date, they're going to be doing relatively well. I feel like you're going to be dating someone who does well financially is something I'm getting. Also, another thing with this card, it's not the main message. They don't want me to show it. Never mind. Next card, Our Lady of Quiet Blessings. Let's see what else is coming through for you regarding a love reading here. I keep getting this message like I feel like you're going to be with someone who's doing well financially. Next is what I'm getting. You definitely do have love coming. I would definitely keep putting yourself out there. Just don't take any old person who shows up, even if they're cute, even if they present themselves well. Like, look at their hearts. Of course, like it's common knowledge, but look at the way they treat people. Look at the way they treat you after a few months. Like, does it stay consistent? Does it get better? Does it get worse? Because I feel like people are going to show you who they are really early on. Your job is to listen to that. Like, if they start judging people and you're noticing this judgment in like the first or second conversation you have, the first conversation you have with them, they're probably going to keep judging. You're probably not going to be the person to change them. And you're definitely not going to be the person to change them if you're staying with them because they're judging people, if that makes sense. I'd say sometimes walking away is the more healing thing to do for people in certain scenarios instead of trying to change them. Anyways, let's see what else. So that's another thing I'm getting for you is advice. Like, people are going to show you who they are really early on. Listen to that. They're showing me a sunflower, interestingly enough, and that's like the sun tarot card in love. Is pretty much what they're showing me. So that's a really happy outcome. I feel like by the end of the year, you're going to have, they're saying a lot of good options. So you're going to have options by the end of the year. They're giving me like a take your pick message. So they're almost like showing like cards spread out. I'm like, hey, take your pick. Your job is just to pick the one that feels best to you. And that when you feel into it energetically, like it feels good long-term. And temporary flings at this time are okay, but don't get too caught up in them where like, you know, it's a temporary fling, but then you want it to be long-term, but then they're not sure, but then like you're kind of on this back and forth. Like I wouldn't play games like that, honestly. I'd look for someone who's looking for a solid commitment and they're not like halfway at this time. Because I don't feel like they're going to stop being halfway is something that I want to say for you as well for some reason. So anything else that would help you regarding love, or that would be good for you to know regarding love here? For some reason, they're giving this message for you, like, be gentle with yourself as you're healing. If you feel like you're healing from anything, now is a really good time to be gentle with yourself. I would also just do fun things that you enjoy, just in general, whether it's involved with dating or not. Like, I would focus on bringing joy and having fun into your life. Because joy is a form of abundance, you could say. Depending on who you are and what your definition of abundance is. But for you, that can be a form of abundance. Like, the more fun and joy you're having, I feel like that's going to be a lot more alluring to people than like, I'm getting this weird message, like, and I'm not saying don't do this, but they're showing me this energy of like staying inside and praying to God every day for love and like being really serious and like, taking every Tinder match super seriously. It's more like, hey, relax, like have fun, get out there, do things you enjoy, whatever that is. And that's going to start to magnetize, or it's going to magnetize people who have fun, but in a good way, have fun, not like people who are just out to have fun. So hopefully that helps as just messages that are good for you right now. For some reason, butterfly is something that's jumping out at me. It's not even on the card. Her locks of hair looked like a butterfly to me. Or I saw like a butterfly imposed on the card intuitively. So one thing that's happening is I do feel like you're going to be shifting really quickly here in this next year. That's part of what opens you more to love. So I would allow yourself to shift and take surprise directions as life shows them to you. For some reason, I want to say, like, for you, I would be ready to leap in any which way at a moment's notice as far as life is concerned, because there's really cool things coming. You just have to be ready to leap when the opportunity is presented. When the opportunity to leap presents itself to you, whether that's in love and romance, a job, or anything you feel called to. Hope that helps, Trish Moore. Helps so much. Thank you. You're welcome, Trish Moore. Super glad to hear it. User 893-1715-147-843 said they just made a big decision. Did they make the right one? I get yes. I get this message like you can't mess it up, interestingly enough. So I'll let that be the message I get for you. Water break, yes. For some reason I wanted to say I love you guys. It just hit me. So I love you guys. Not yet, Bree. Have you met the person you're going to marry? I get not yet. Weirdly enough, Susie Q, Snowlight, you asked, what do you need to do to save your marriage and stay confident in your career? Ooh, one of the messages I'm getting for you, interestingly enough, is like letting go and like don't hold things too tightly. And you're another person where the message is coming through like, hey, like take a step back. I feel like you're gonna rock your career. You just need to keep showing up and let you convince yourself you can do it through doing it. That'll grow your confidence. Because I feel like you got that, weirdly enough. Not weirdly enough, that's just the message I'm getting. As far as your marriage, would it be for that's good for you to save your marriage? It's definitely worth a shot, is what I'm getting. What I hear is take a step back, hold things really lightly, not with too tight a grip, and let your partner show you what they need and communicate that. And that will tell you how to save the marriage. It is a two-way street. I feel like the other person is trying. I think they're not sure. I get they're not sure how to go about things sometimes. And I think that makes it difficult for you because you think it should be obvious, is what I'm getting, interestingly enough. So I would, within reason, I'm not saying let them cheat on you, but cut them a little bit of slack. Do your best to like communicate your needs, but really listen to what they're saying, and even like reading between the words of what they're saying and the lines of what they're saying. Like it's like listening to what they're not saying, listening to what they're implying, listening to the energy and tone behind the words, because there's a lot more being communicated that isn't being communicated, is what I'm saying. But if you pay attention to that stuff, that gives you like the direction to go. Because that person you're married to might not express everything they need, and they think it, but it's like they have two left feet when it comes to opening up to you, if that makes sense, about some of those things, and that makes it difficult. So try to be patient, really double check with them what they need. I do believe they'll try to communicate it with you here. I would also like this seems to be common advice, but I have noticed like it's been something that's helped my life. It's something that's helped other people who've tried it, who it's come through for, but maybe even build a crystal grid with your marriage. If you feel called to it, if your partner is open to it and they feel okay with it, maybe invite them to help make it with you if they also want to save the marriage. Like black tourmaline would be a good one. Selenite in the center is what I'm getting. Rose quartz and green aventurine would be the crystals I'm getting for that crystal grid. So selenite in the center, rose quartz and green aventurine like tumbles, and then black tourmaline around that would be a good crystal grid. And if you have a Metatron's cube, either grid board you can use, or you can print out a piece of paper with Metatron's cube on it and use that to build the crystal grid on, like use some of the intersecting lines and keep it symmetrical and build the grid on that. That's Metatron's cube, by the way. That's the boy, BOI boy. That's a way that you could build that crystal grid and give that a shot too. And you're just setting the intention, and add flowers to it, because that can bring joy and happiness to either the recovery or the marriage or whatever. It's worth a shot. It's a way of setting an intention and doing energy work and asking the crystals for help and the universe for help to help your marriage and move it in the highest and best directions for you. If at any point the marriage looks unsalvageable, don't try to hold on to it. It's just going to cause further pain is what I'm getting. But don't give up yet is what I'm saying. Also, so hope that helps, Susie Q Snowlight. And good luck with both of those. I feel like you're going to crush it in your career, though, for some reason. So that's just what I keep getting. It's pink quartz, black tourmaline, selenite, and green aventurine. So hope that helps. And then flower petals, rose flower petals, and maybe a yellow flower as well. If there's a yellow flower you can buy or get petals from. Whew. Okay. Yeah. Beach to barn, was our move the right decision for my kids? I get yes, very much so. Hey, Destiny, good to see ya. How's your world? I want to send a big hug to you, Destiny. That's for some reason what I saw intuitively. If anyone feels called, Destiny's a really cool moderator. You guys can send her some love. And China Moon Girl too. So okay, going back to chat. Ooh, it's 111 here. It's 1111 there for you. Yeah, make a wish. I'm wishing for the, if you guys want it, should it be in the highest good, the highest and best for everyone here. The highest and best outcomes for everyone here. For the highest and best outcomes for everyone here. Should they want it? Should you guys want it? Should it be for the highest good? Especially regarding anything you're going through right now. A lot of good luck. I'm wishing you guys good luck and love. And an increase to your path, an upshift to your future. Should you want it? Should it be for the highest good? Without any dips. So that's my wish. Hey, Divinely Protected. How's it going? Okay, they want me to go to the Q&A box. They are... let's see here. Where... Okay. What? Sorry, I'm trying to see which question my spirit guides want me to answer or channel through an answer for. I don't think I answered this one yet, did I? Okay. Huh. I feel like I've answered a lot of these. Okay, UFO show. How's it going? Any insight on their gifts and soul's purpose here? I'm curious if you're someone who can channel for people, UFO show. I'm getting that's definitely a gift you have that you could open up. Okay, so instead of your gifts here. Channeling, mediumship if you want to do it, if you feel called to it. I feel like you could be good with tarot card reading, very intuitive. What does that mean? I'm getting this message like they mean something by it, so I need to get a second to get the explanation for what they mean something by it. So 1 second, what does that mean here? That message. Okay. They're also saying like one thing for you, Ifo show, is like, they're like, oh, you're a new person. I'm like, what does that mean? It's like you're someone who has a lot of new things that the world needs to see, like either new things you bring in or talents, gifts and abilities, I guess you could say. So you're someone who's meant to bring in a lot of new is one thing I'm getting for you and your soul's purpose. You're definitely supposed to work with your soul to help people, if that makes any sense. Like that's kind of like soul whispering, but which is kind of like channeling anyways. Like you can just talk to your soul, channel your soul, see what your soul's telling you. So anything else about your soul's purpose or insight on your gifts here? If you felt called to be a psychic medium, you totally could be. That's up to you. You're definitely clairsentient, like you feel energies. I feel like you're a very strong, I hesitate to use the label empath. I think it gets a little bit, I don't want to say overused, but overused as a label. I did hear an interesting perspective recently that's closer to kind of how I feel about it too, if not totally it, where it's like why label it or limit it? Like there's so much, like you're an infinite, unlimited being. Like why put a label of I'm an empath on it or I'm this when it's like, well, you're infinite and unlimited. You might have those empathic capabilities, but there's so much more to you. That's definitely the case for you. But I do feel like they're almost giving me the term empath on steroids. Like, I also feel like you are very insightful. Interestingly enough, is something I'm getting as well. That's something you have a gift for is your insight. I'm getting this isn't literal or physical, but I'm getting this message like you can run really quickly, like you can do things really quickly and make progress quickly, where others might be slower. And like you're able to make progress quickly and have it stick. So like as far as like the story of like the tortoise and the hare, I feel like you'd be a very successful hare, if that makes sense. Like I don't know if you would actually, I don't think you would take a nap. I think you'd actually like keep going and do well with it. That's something you have a natural talent for as well, interestingly enough. Because they're showing like mountain climbing as like an analogy. It's like you speed climb, like you climb up the mountain really quickly. I don't know if this is a good thing all the time, but I'm getting like you're good at getting your way. So I would just set the intention to do that for the highest good, or just get the way that's the highest and best way. Anyways, as far as your soul's purpose, going back to that, let's see here. You're definitely someone who, this might seem a bit general, but you're definitely someone who's here to help transform the collective, like through the work you do with others. That could just even be whether that's retail or you become a card reader or whatever you become or do. Like it helps shift people and it helps shift the collective essentially. You also bring a lot of warmth. Like you're kind of like a warm fire in the middle of the night for people in their lives, or that's part of your purpose. Is what I'm getting for you, EFO show. So you provide a lot of warmth and light to people around you and the collective. I do feel like you are here to be a bright light as well and kind of show the way in some ways. And they're showing me the Hermit, like the Hermit tarot card, interestingly enough. And in some ways, like the Hermit, in this analogy for you, leads the way. Like he has a lantern. The lantern has a star in it. He knows the way to go. He's been down the path many times. So the Hermit would make a great guide for traversing the terrain in life. And you are that person. So whether you need more life experience before you do that or not, that's something that you have a knack for. So in some ways you're here to be a guide as well, if that makes sense. That's kind of it that they want me to get to for this. As far as this, so anything else regarding your soul's purpose or anything else here? Okay, they're saying that's it. Hope that helps. Hope that gives some good clarity for you so far. Okay. Your username is Deaf Not a Witch. And you said you're feeling really down. Any advice from spirit here? Not my typical advice. Sometimes I would say dig in, but I'm getting to get your mind off of the things that are getting you really down. I would actually watch TV and just go for a walk and like treat yourself to a spa day. Like I would actually do those things. I'm Deaf Not a Witch. Not always my usual advice. I feel like this is something where you need to release the emotion and not get caught up in the story of it. What do I mean by that? Like sometimes we feel an emotion and then we like feel like we need to attribute a story and a reason to it and then it's stuck. But sometimes we just need to feel it and let it process out and not attribute a story or a reason for it, and then it just leaves and we feel a lot better. That's part of what you need to do, is just like let it process out and let it be there and like be processed out. That'll help move it. For some reason, one of the things there, let me see is this actually something you want me to provide as a resource for them? So messaged him a lot this life. That's okay. Lee Harris, a great channeler. I love his work. He has this set of MP3s called, it's available on his, no affiliation by the way, it's on his website, leeharrisenergy.com, and it's Release Your Day meditation and Open to Your Day meditation. They're channeled meditations. And for some reason, they're showing me the Release Your Day meditation that you play before you go to bed, essentially. I'm curious if that would be something that helps you move some of that energy just kind of at the end of each day so you can get to a better place over time. Because right now it's about movement, and exercise and movement might also be a good thing for you, like jogging, just to move that energy, to kind of move that emotion and kind of get things flowing again, is something that they're kind of talking about as well here. I would also look into crystal healing specifically, like not a crystal healer, but like, wow, what would be helpful for you? Show me, guys. Because like one thing that crystal healers would, I'm just going to talk it out until my guides correct me. One thing that crystal healers will do, because the image they showed me was like you laying down and you had like crystals placed on you in different spots to kind of rearrange things energetically, to help balance things, to do whatever healing would be for your highest good. So one thing I used to do would be like I'd lay down and just put like a crystal that correlated with each chakra on each chakra, and just like lay there for an hour and just like receive. I'd either just run Reiki for myself and do healing work on top of that, or I would just do like a quick like just crystal thing for myself. So it might be a good idea to either get a crystal healing session or look into crystal healing as something to learn, or just like sit with, if you have crystals, sit with your crystals, lay down and put your crystals on you wherever you intuitively feel guided to. Because it's about unblocking things and getting things unstuck, and moving energy once again. And I feel like sometimes you just need a little bit of support, and then you're good. But it's like you don't necessarily have that support that you need. So to also look into, and crystals can provide that energetic support at the very, very least. They can do more. They can do way more, especially when utilized with intention. And they can really help shift your life as well. I don't know why I keep wanting to talk about this right now. And they want me to tell you guys, or you, like, there's definitely been times I've been drawn to buy a crystal. I'm like, I mean, at the time, $50 for me was like a lot to drop on a crystal. I'd be like, it's $50, but I'm being guided to get it. But I don't know why I'm guided to get it. So, but I'd buy it because my guidance was telling me to, and of course it would work out monetarily just because I was guided to. But then I'd find like just energetically how I'd feel after a few months, and now my guides would be like, buy it, it's going to do this, it's going to help you with this. Like I could check in and get all that stuff, but I noticed energetically like there was just like this energy, this support, or this energetic help or shift that would happen with that crystal, that like I just noticed a difference that wouldn't have been there if I didn't have that crystal with me in my house, like helping me out every day. So I've definitely noticed like the crystals can really help to have around for those periods of time, and just in general. And they can be really helpful things just to have around. So anyways, as far as any other advice that would help you, Deaf Not a Witch, I would take a course or a class with something you enjoy or you've wanted to get into, especially if it's metaphysically oriented. It does not have to be with me. It just has to be with something you enjoy, you want to learn, that you'd love to get into. That could be crystal healing. For some reason, I'm not sure if that's the right option, but it could be astrology, it could be yoga, it could be anything that draws you. So I'd look into that too, just to kind of get something new in, to get around people potentially. If it's an online course, I guess you're not technically getting around people, but it's at least something to focus on. You're learning something new, it's potentially uplifting, and it's something that could be exciting for you as well. I would also, they're showing me bananas. I'm not a licensed physician, by the way, disclaimer. I don't know if it's the potassium or the B vitamins in the banana that might help. I'll say it in case anyone else needs to hear it. And again, not a licensed physician, but one thing that can help people with their nervous system, like some of the vitamins are like the B vitamins, and then I think it's magnesium. I think a lot of people, whatever that brand is, it's like Calm, and like there's like, I think it's a magnesium powder. You can put it in your water and like stir it in. And I hope I'm getting the mineral correct, that it's magnesium. But one of the nutritional health coaches, like a good one that I've talked to, would kind of mention that a lot of people are magnesium deficient. Like that's and it's one of the things that can help you just feel calm. And like one thing she noticed, and I've noticed too, is like sometimes you drink it and you're just like, ugh, like you just feel so much more relaxed. But that could be something that helps with or supports your nervous system and helps with just certain feelings of, you know, I don't think I can even legally say it like cures anxiety or depression or anything, but it can definitely support your nervous system and support you regarding things that have to do with the nervous system, might be the legal way I can say it. And I used to work at this vitamin place, and so they had this whole thing on like the lingo of how you can say supplements will help someone, and you can't say like, oh, this is going to help with this issue. You could say like, whoop. Okay, hope maybe that cut out for you guys. I need to plug in my phone here, so I'm going to be right back in like 20 seconds. I just need to jump to the other room, grab my charger, and plug my phone in here. Hey, so I'm going to plug my phone in here. The Calm works well and is correct for magnesium. Thank you, C-Crook. Thank you. Orlando Jeanette. I did not know that about Epsom salt baths. That's great. You're so welcome. I'm definitely not a witch. I hope that helps. Also clears energy. Yeah, Epsom salt baths are amazing. Okay, I'm going to grab my charger. I'll be right back, guys. Dun, dun, dun. Come on. Here we go. All right, plug this guy in. Fully flash good. Ooh. Oh yeah, Calm does have gummies. I should probably get those. I should probably get some of that. Baby Fairy Ash, how can you heal your relationship with money? They want me to tell you about this specific podcast episode, and it's, I haven't listened to the whole episode. I listened to a video regarding the episode, or that had a clip from it, or, a segment of it, and it actually really helped me. I noticed a big difference right away. But it's the Possibility Explorer podcast with Dr. Dane Heer, who's one of the co-founders of a modality called Access Consciousness, which not really a certified practitioner of, but there is an episode about money, and that one could be really helpful for you. And I found Access Consciousness has a lot of really cool, just simple tools and things about money that they've uncovered that can be really helpful for you. So I would look into that first and foremost. Another thing that I think I referenced this last live as well, but I don't mind referencing it again. Energy Speaks by Lee Harris is a good book. Again, no affiliation. I've been plugging Lee Harris so hard this live. But the first few chapters are about money and money abundance. So any of his work on money has also been helpful for me. I'd say like Lee Harris and Dr. Dane Heer, Access Consciousness, have been like two of the people who've helped me a lot. Like their work has helped me a lot, with money and finances and like and business, essentially. More Lee Harris on the business stuff, but I'd say those for me have been good go-tos on that topic and healing that. In some ways, like what I'm getting for you as well is like with healing your relationship with money, it's also like healing your relationship with yourself and your own abundance and your own concept of what you deserve. That's a big thing is what they're talking about, and that's part of what's sticking you. And I feel like there's three things. Like there's that and what you feel like you deserve. It's what you think other people think you should have as the second one. And then the third one is, which kind of sounds like the first one, but I'm hearing, am I worthy? Is that the third one? Let me see. But I'm hearing like, am I worthy? So it's your own worthiness thing. It's what you think other people think you should have. It's your deservingness. Anything else that would help you to work on or dig into? I also get this weird message for you. As you work with your connection with yourself and your soul, you're going to have more money. So any meditation where you're connecting with your soul or sitting with your soul, Lee Harris is another great, again, is a great person for meditations on that one. I'd say, but anything where you're connecting with your soul, channeling is a way you could connect with your soul, you could say. Working on your connection with yourself is going to help bring in more money, is interestingly enough, or help heal your relationship with it, is what I'm getting. Interestingly enough. For some reason, they want me to recommend it for you as well, and they're indicating this is on point and helpful for you. And this is the first time I've ever recommended this for anyone, but with Access Consciousness, they have these sessions called Access Bars sessions. I'm not a certified Access Bars practitioner or Access again, but maybe you could Google that and see if there's anyone in your area that feels good to you energetically, that feels right to you. And maybe that could be something that helps as well. Because that might be a session that really helps you. So hopefully between all those recommendations and what I brought through, so anything else to help you heal those 3 or 4 issues or whatever they are that I brought through, anything that would help you with healing your relationship with yourself and your soul here. One thing that I want to say is if you feel like you do view money as an enemy, stop viewing money as an enemy. At the least, I would try to see it as a neutral energy. That's one of the things that clicked for me was money is a neutral energy. That when I heard that really clicked things in for me in a big way, or was the start of things clicking in for me at least. So it's not really an enemy. And I for some reason I want to say it's not something you don't have enough of. You might feel like you don't have enough of it, but it's more one of the questions I have for you to ask yourself is oh, how can I give more money to myself? So it's healing worthiness, it's healing deservingness, it's letting go of what you think other people think you should have. I think between all those tools and some of your own healing work and connecting more with yourself and your soul through metaphysical practices, meditations, journaling, if it's automatic writing or channeling, that can be a good way to connect more to. You're going to start to make the connections and kind of untwine the knots around your relationship with money. That a lot of it was handed to you by your parents is something I'm getting as well, and maybe even your grandparents or just people around you growing up. That's where a lot of the knot comes from, is how other people viewed money. And I'm not saying they literally bullied you into seeing it the same way, but sometimes we either just kind of take that on, or we feel like we have to do things the same way, or we just feel like that's reality when it's not, or it doesn't have to be. So that's something you're kind of letting go of as well, is I don't want to say your childhood wounds around money. I don't know if you have childhood wounds around money, but that's what I'm hearing is things you picked up from your childhood that created this knot where it's deservingness or worthiness, or it's bad to have money, but at the same time you want to have money. It's all that weird mess. But that's what I'd say you're working on. I'm also getting throat chakra would be a good one to sit with for you, expression and allowing yourself to be free to express would also be something that helps realign yourself with money. If you feel called to work on your throat chakra in some way, light a candle, do some healing work on it. That's it. I hope that helps. Baby Fairy Ash, I hope that is some good resources for you. Thank you so much for the messages and guidance. You're welcome. I hope that helps. Okay, let's see here. Let's go through the Q&A here really quickly, guys. Ooh. Lucy the Wise One. Oh, that's fun play words. What does Merkaba mean to you? Baby Fairy Ash, I do get yes as a quick answer. Lucy the Wise One asked, what does Merkaba mean to you? One, yeah, it's a sacred geometry, but it's also it's funny because Merkaba was part of my I suppose you could say my bigger awakening into this realm of being. Merkaba was one of the first things that presented itself. It was there was a woman I met who taught Merkaba training, which I believe she got from Durbanville Melchizedek, which I am not the biggest Durbanville Melchizedek person, honestly. I haven't really read a lot of his work. It's just for some reason I haven't been super drawn to it. But that being said, like that was one of the first things I learned was this meditation where you'd kind of connect onto the earth, and then you'd send love down to the earth, and then you'd feel the earth's loves back to you, and then you draw in that love, and it would come in the form of that tetrahedron pointing up. It would kind of meet at your heart, and then you'd send your love up to source at the same time, and you feel love, source's love for you, and then you'd bring down that love in the form of the tetrahedron, three-sided pyramid pointing down, and then you'd see them spinning around you, and so that would be a way to practice your Merkaba. However, there are ways to permanently activate your Merkaba where you don't have to do that whole exercise to have one around you. And it's the meditation I worked with, it was by Brian Besko, who is the owner. He kind of runs Twisted Sage Studios, twistedsage.com, who sell these really cool energy tools and like tensor tools. And if you go to that website, twistedsage.com, and go to resources, there should be videos on activating the Merkaba, or a link there on activating the Merkaba that takes you to a YouTube video or meditation to do it. And so like that's just, it's a good field to have activated and spinning around you, and you can set intentions for it, for the highest good. You can do a lot of cool things with it. So that's, if that starts to answer what Merkaba means to me, it's kind of like, to me, it is what it is, if that makes any sense. But that's my experience with it thus far. Great thing to work with, and just to have, I suppose you could say, activated or going. Hope that helps you, Lucy the Wise One, or answers that for you. AKA Papa Bear, no question. You're our good soul. Love you. I so appreciate that, AKA Papa Bear. I hope you're doing amazing. Thanks so much. You're a good soul too. Moon Sister, thank you for that. Very helpful. You're welcome. Smokey Nazin 1111. What are your thoughts about Kundalini awakenings? So I don't think it's something you need to worry about too much. It's something I haven't consciously put like a ton of thought into. For the modality, so there's a modality, an energy work modality, I started receiving in 2018 and channeling through. I do have a symbol for Kundalini riser that I have a lot of symbols. I haven't really worked with it as much, but I do have a symbol for it, funny enough. I think in some ways it can be a little bit overblown as to what it is. My guys are like, no. So, okay, what's going on? What would be highest and best for me to say about Kundalini awakenings here? I'd say it's a way to help your energy systems and to awaken. It doesn't have to be the main focus. I'd say it's something that happens naturally as you progress. I'd say some people overtell the story or overblow how it actually is. But it is a great way to purify your systems and to focus on spirituality. But I don't know, for some reason I'd say I wouldn't make it I'm feeling it rising as I'm talking. I don't know if I'd make it your main focus all the time, but it's a good thing to work with and get familiar with for you. Sorry. Okay. As my Kundalini rises. It's definitely a great way to work with yourself and your energies and increase your life force energy. I don't think it needs to be as complicated as people make it. I feel like you can, like, even just me starting to talk about it, and maybe it's because I talked about the Kundalini riser symbol, it just started like, whoop. But even just like asking it to rise, it can start to rise. Some people have really intense stories about it. I haven't had super intense stories. Like, I definitely feel it. I definitely feel the energy, but I've already done a lot of work on myself and my chakra system. So maybe that's part of why it hasn't been as brutal. One thing I am hearing though is like the awakening might have been a bit more brutal than I remember it, but I didn't realize it was awakening. So that might be part of it. So I don't know if that answers it. It's something I haven't done this huge focus on it. I've focused on it at certain periods and like kind of sat with it. So I don't know if I have a lot of personal experience to share. I know like I've had it where I've unblocked certain things and I'd feel my Kundalini like flow up, or I practice sitting with it, but I don't know if that answers that as far as my thoughts about it. I'd say if you've already done the work, it's a great thing to do. If you're already like spiritual and doing energy work and channeling, probably going to be a breeze, honestly. But if not, and you haven't done any work, it's probably going to suck, is what I'd say with the Kundalini awakening. So I hope that makes sense. When you feel ready, Smoky Nazin, I would give it a shot. If you feel like you've done your work and you've aligned your chakra systems, it'll be pretty breezy. If not, like it'll be pretty intense, like the clearing process, because it is a purification. And it is unblocking a lot of things, and your chakras can correlate with your life as well. So there might be external things that help with your Kundalini awakening, much like with a Reiki attunement, there's the healing crisis period after a Reiki attunement, and there can be external things that show up in your reality that, I don't want to say mirror that, but help with that healing process to help you release certain things or purge certain things or correspond with it to get to the healing and shifting you need for the highest good, because it's all interconnected, the internal, the external, etc. So I don't know why I want to say that too, but it can definitely be intense. But if you're doing your work, it's not that bad, or if you've gotten to a certain point with it. Who said this? I feel like people should be more careful and that it needs a foundation. My guys are saying that's a good way to look at it. It's like if you've done the work, you're good. So what is Kundalini? Is it earth related? So my understanding is it's like, you should probably just look it up. I would look up Kundalini. I would Google it. You might get a better foundational answer than me trying to explain it, because my understanding is it's like this life force energy. And it's like once you, I don't know. I'm not, I don't want to say what I'm about to say. My guys don't want me to say what I'm about to say. But it's like these two, they're often depicted as like snakes or serpents, and it's like this twin life force. Look it up. I'm going to not explain this the best way, probably. It's like this life force energy thing, and it kind of moves up the chakra systems, almost like a double helix, like with each chakra. And it's usually is purported with spiritual awakenings and things. I would Google it, because it's not something I've sat with and like taken a long time to like sit with my guides and like, how do you describe this? So I want to see if they do have an answer for you about that. Fully for that is good here. It's a part of the human anatomy that allows one to connect higher spiritually. And it's a part of a very spiritual person that allows them to go deeper into awakening. So it's something that, again, like the other person said, once you have a foundation, or once you're ready to awaken, it can flow to purify the systems and awaken you further. Or if you're ready for it in life and you need that kick in the pants, and you have what it takes to activate it, that will activate at the right time to get you on your spiritual journey. So it's a part of the human anatomy that allows one to connect spiritually, is the message I get from my guides to explain Kundalini. Hope that helps. I felt it during the meditation, but this is something that I did not intentionally mean to do. I'd say for you, it's time to work on it. Just don't force it. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, I'm getting to end the live soon, guys. It has been almost 3 hours, so that's probably why. I kind of feel called to do a quick general either reading or thing. I want to see. They don't want me to do a guided meditation today. So I think I'm going to pull a card and do a general reading, or it has been a long one. Yeah, it hasn't felt like a long one. It's felt pretty good. But I hope so far the live has been good for those of you. We love a good collective. Heck yeah. You're welcome, Destiny. Yeah, I am going to start pushing these back and doing these an hour later. So it used to be 10 a.m. Central, North American Central Time. It's going to be 11 a.m. North American Central Time. I might move it back to noon at a certain point, but for right now, I'm going to stay with 11 a.m. North American Central Time. It happened suddenly for me. I felt each chakra open individually, then it became more of a flow. Nice. Heck yeah. You were definitely ready. So, sorry, aspiring human. That means so much though. Fair enough, Destiny. And you deserve a good sleep and day. So we're gonna do a collective reading. Okay. And I am using the Mother Mary Oracle card deck, but they're showing with a visual of Mother Mary on the card. Our Lady of the Rose Child. So I'm getting this message of a fire going through your life. Because this card is very fiery to me. There's like just a lot of red. There's a lot of fiery looking things. Even though it's meant to be like autumn leaves, they're saying like a fire going through your life. So I feel like I said this last week maybe, but I feel like there is like a bit of a collective purge happening or like a cleaning of house. So you might find people like drop out of your reality or drop out of your life. Not a bad thing, by the way, or certain relationships and probably not your close relationships, by the way, maybe more like acquaintances. The universe is definitely like doing I know it's autumn in the southern hemisphere, but the universe is doing a spring cleaning kind of thing right now, or like a cleaning house. Because I feel like I've been saying this a lot, but maybe I'll just be saying it until I'm not saying it anymore. And once it's all happened, but I feel like a lot of you are ready for the new. It's just like, sometimes you have to clean the shack out to make room for the new furniture or the new decorations. And a lot of you guys are coming to the end of this cycle where you don't need a lot of what you have anymore in your life. And they're saying you might take that too literally. So give me 1 second to redirect that message or get that message more on track with what's what you guys will receive correctly. As you close out a cycle, sometimes there's a lot of things you needed in the previous cycle that no longer apply or resonate or are relevant with your new cycle. So you guys are going to be getting rid of a lot of things that no longer apply to your life or that are not needed moving forward, but it's just to make space for what is needed, essentially. So that's kind of what's going on with that cleaning house energy. I feel like that's going on over the next month or so. It's actually a really good thing. They're kind of pointing my eyes to these white lines on the card. To me, they look like bones. Intuitively, they look like bones as they pointed my eyes to them. And they're saying like it's time to bury the past, which kind of goes hand in hand with the spring cleaning message. And for some reason, they're giving me this message like there's no reason to go digging up old bones. Like you don't need to revitalize the past if it's not there. And like, you know what? A weird example they're showing me is like someone trying to put a skeleton back together that like was already buried. It's like, I'll say, I'm not sure if it's the best way to get the message across, but it's like, it doesn't necessarily bring grandpa back to put together his skeleton if you dig it up, which is kind of gruesome. But it's kind of like this message, like there's no reason to rehash the past, like leave it buried, but also like bury the past and like don't cling to things right now if you feel like that's applicable to you. Because the past is the past for a reason, and you're ready for a new season. I didn't mean to rhyme, is kind of what they're saying here. I'm getting this message as well, like rain is purifying. If it rains by where you're at, I would maybe even stand in the rain and ask nature to purify you, or to even like purify your life, or maybe envision a healing rain, like raining, like in a good way, not in a sad way, but raining down on your life and just kind of washing away darkness or debris or things that no longer serve your highest good. But the rain would be a purifying thing to be in for you right now. It's like a really interesting message I'm hearing right now. I keep getting these messages and maybe of like being crowned. Mother Mary's not really wearing a crown in this card. It looks like the baby is, excuse me. But I'm getting this message like you're going to be crowned. It's kind of like you have a new kingdom, metaphorically, or new territory that's going to be yours. And like you're preparing for the crown, essentially, is what I'm getting. It is a message about a life upgrade. And it's going to be in different ways for each of you, of course, in a slightly different time frames. This is over the next year, maybe 2 years for some of you, even 3 absolute maximum. But what I'm getting is like you're being prepared for this crown, essentially, of this new area of this life, this new territory, this new kingdom, is what they're saying. So part of this cleaning house, like there might be certain trials or lessons that prepare you for it, or some of you are already ready and you're about to step into it. For others of you, you're still on the path, like they want me to say it, but it reminds me of the visual they're giving me is like there's this video game called Skyrim that was really popular for like a long time. And it's Elder Scrolls. Some of you might be familiar, but there's this one point in the game, and I'll explain it in a way where you'll get it if you don't play video games, where like you have to like hike up this long mountain and like face all these like specific things and like overcome these like specific challenges to get to the top of this mountain to like progress in the game. And they're kind of showing me it's like that. It's like you have a destiny or purpose, but you have to get to the top of this mountain and like face your fears or like overcome certain trials. Like I don't know if it's necessarily to prove your worth. I feel like that can be just a formality. Like you're already inherently worthy. The universe already knows you're worthy, but for your sake, it gives you the experience you need to own this crown more formally, more well, I guess, more better, wear this crown better. So that's something I'm kind of getting as well. That's something I'm getting as well, that you're either in the thick of, or you're about to venture into, or you're at the tail end of, is getting to this point where you're crowned victorious, essentially, in this new area of your life, or newer area of your life is something I'm getting as well, which is cool here. I know there's roses all over this card deck, but they are giving me the message. I would pay attention to the rose as an important symbol or sign for you. Right now, it's a sign you're on the right track. If you see a rose a lot going forward from this reading over the next little while, I'd say the rose is a sign you're on the right track. If you see roses in your experience here. Another message for you guys right now, they pointed my eyes to one of the spirals on the card, and they just said creation is really important right now. It's possible to create really quickly, like with your intention, with manifestation. They were showing me this reminder of this thing that actually, again, Lee Harris brought through in one of his energy updates, which is like all you need to do to manifest right now is like think about something and lightly desire it, and for the highest good, you'll get the opportunity to experience it. Like manifestation is working more like that for this crowd than maybe like a traditional like way where you have to like go through a ritual and light 12 candles, and nothing wrong with that either. And you can definitely still do that if that's your way. But it's a lot faster and like easier, and it's going to progressively get more simple and faster and easier as time goes on here, just the way the energies are moving and as things shift. Because things are getting higher dimensional, things can show up a lot more quickly and easily, things can rearrange more quickly and easily for the highest good, things are just moving more quickly. So you're going to find it's easier to create and manifest. So I would kind of sit down and write like, what are 5 things you want to create? Is something that's coming to me as well. It's just like, and see how quickly it shows up, or the opportunity to experience that shows up. And you can shove it in a drawer and forget about it, come back to it in a year and be like, wow, all that showed up, or wow, I'm in process of all this happening, or, do whatever you do, hang it up on your wall. But creative energy, very strong, both, yes, with creativity, but it's also just like creation in the world. So it's gonna be very easy to create things. So what else is going on with the collective here for this general reading here? I'd say none of you are on the wrong track is something I want to say as well here. With the Inner Gate card coming out again, I did shuffle these, and I'll shuffle them again if you guys want me to, but my guys are like, yeah, you should. So I'm getting heart healing with this card. Of course, there's a heart in the center, but it's more about the messages I'm getting. There is a bit of a collective heart healing happening. I'm getting this summer, which Southern Hemisphere, that would be the winter for you. In these next few months or coming up, there is like a bit of a collective heart healing happening. So everyone can move forward more strongly as a collective, more heart-centered. There was a message I got a few lives back, and it was like heart energy is really needed on Earth, and being in the heart, and bringing that forward. And I believe that message came through a few weeks ago. But I'm kind of getting a similar thing again, like heart healing is going to be rolling through the collective, so people can be that. So there might be a bit of a heart release or heart purge that can show up through external circumstances, or you might just feel like inexplicably sad one day or down. That's part of what's happening is what I'm getting. And any shifts you feel in the heart chakra, for those of you who are kind of in tune with that, that's part of what's going on as well. There is a bit of a heart chakra upgrade going on through that this year. This year is a big heart upgrade is something I'm getting for this group, so keep that in mind, which will be really cool. There's also a message, like they're putting my eyes to like this heart. It has like the veins kind of and arteries kind of coming out from it. Oh, I need to clean my fingernails. Heart healing is so real. Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. But you're more connected than you realize to everything is essentially what I'm getting. So you guys are going to start waking up further to or seeing more how everything's connected and how connected you are to everything, and how your healing impacts the whole, and how what you're going through relates to the collective and vice versa. You're going to start seeing your connection to everything, or you're going to be going further into that realization. I feel like some of you are probably there. No, I'm getting it's going to go further for everyone. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but that's interesting. I guess I could check in. That being said, it's going to be transformative is pretty much the message I'm getting. So there's also a lot of crown chakra awakening, I guess you could say energy happening around this time period next year or two, but next few months, that's going to be a focus as well. Like a crown chakra upgrade, essentially. The next message I'm getting is source on earth more. So you're going to start feeling source's presence more. It's just like it's more grounded, it's more here, it's more palpable, it's more like moving things around. So you're going to feel source operating in your life very strongly, like a lot of divinely guided things, synchronicity, divine intervention with things. And it's like source is needed, obviously. I mean, source is everything, but you're going to feel the direct connection to source more strongly, and you're going to see its palpable actions in the world and in your life more strongly as well. And world events might not clear up tomorrow. That's not what I'm saying. Things are going to play out how they need to play out. But in your personal lives and your story, you're going to see source working very viscerally, very vividly, very potently, very effectively, very palpably, I suppose you could say. And it's going to be very apparent that you're someone of source. If you're trying to be that, if you came in that way, if that's who you're meant to be. And all of you are going to realize that is what I'm getting, which is cool here. So they're showing me this like blue flower blossom, and they're giving me the word hope here. So what is that here? And I'm getting this term like an expansion of hope for the future. There are higher possibilities than people will talk about on Earth, essentially. Like there are very high possibilities for people on Earth, for humanity, for Earth, for the collective, that just aren't spoken of, that are just like beyond this reality, beyond what people think of. So that's actually going to start showing up. Like I feel like people are calling that in. It might be good to call that in. There's going to be an expansion to the hope of what's possible for you individually, and even the world over for people, and like they see like where humanity can go and where the potential lies. Because you are infinite and you are unlimited, but so too is the potential for where things can go for the highest good. So you're going to start to see people talking about the higher potential for humanity as opposed to the lesser potential, if that makes any sense. And that's going to be good. I feel like it's going to be healing for people. It's also going to kind of take people's minds off of the negative, which is needed. And the more you're focusing on the higher possibilities, the more you're grounding that in as a reality. Or the more you're asking for it, at least. So I would ask for the highest and best possibilities for Earth, for you, for the collective, of course. But just know that's going to start showing up, and the hope of those things is going to start showing up. It's not like a hope that's just like empty. It's just like, yeah, I hope that works out. Yeah. It's more like you're going to see the possibilities, and that is the hope expanding. So anything else that would be for your highest good regarding this reading, regarding this message for you guys here? One reminder that they want to bring through for you guys is they're showing me a canary, and they're just like, hey, pay attention to the warning signs. And they want me to tell this story. Like there's certain people that just have different signs for them that are warning signs. For like one reader I watched, his is like a coyote. Like if he sees a coyote that's like something's up, pay attention, like there's a warning. For me, it's like a crow cawing is a warning sign for me. Like if I go to do something and I hear a crow cawing outside, like right as I go to do it, I know not to do that thing or to reconsider or to kind of readjust what I'm about to do. Like if I'm about to send a text and the crow starts cawing, I don't send that text. I'll be like, okay, what do I need to change here? And usually I'll know on some level. It'll just be like that confirmation, like, okay, universe, okay. Or sometimes if there's not like a physical crow cawing, it's like I'll hear a crow cawing in my clairaudience, or they'll like a crow spirit animal or something will show up on my shoulder and start cawing in my ear pretty, sorry, not obnoxiously, but very there. So there's one way they say it that's actually really funny. They don't want me to say it, never mind. But that's something to keep in mind. Just pay attention to the warning signs. They're there for a reason. And it's not like a be afraid. It's more like a, hey, pay attention. It's like the high voltage don't touch sign on the electric motor isn't there to make you be afraid of it. It's there to like let you know, like, hey, you're gonna get electrocuted if you stick your hand in this electric motor, so that's kind of like, it's just kind of like a, hey, if you do this, like this can happen. It's not like a, be afraid, so I don't know, that's just something to keep in mind. For some reason they want me to switch topics here. I feel like this topic does come through a bit, but they want me to bring it through again, and I want to see how they want to bring it through for you guys this time. But they're kind of showing me a wand with like magic sparkles coming out the end, and they're saying magic on a rise here. Okay, what I'm getting is there's a higher level of magic available, and by magic I don't mean magic tricks, I mean like actual magic, and to me that can be synchronicity, that's cognizance and intuition, that's divine intervention, that's miraculous things happening, that's more what I'm leaning to when I say magic. And I know each can have a different definition, but there's just a higher level available to everyone. So that's going to start grounding in more, I keep wanting to say vividly, I don't think that's the right word in that context, but it's going to start grounding in more strongly or more apparently that there's just a higher level of magic available to all of us on Earth. It's like higher synchronicity, like more visceral, higher magic. And it's something that we're slowly unveiling as a collective. And I want to say, like, none of you are limited. No one, like, everyone's unlimited and infinite. I want to say, like, no one's limited by the collective. Like, you can access potentially the highest levels of magic, higher than anyone's ever seen before, like right now. Maybe even beyond that layer that's being unveiled. But in general, what's happening is it's more accessible and more easily accessible to even just like, I hesitate to call anyone average, but the average person, I suppose you could say. So people are going to be waking up to it or just starting to hit those levels within themselves, even if they're just getting started. Or if you've been at this for a while, like you're going to find it's just like more easily available to bring in more magic and experience it more at the time and be more magical. Not that you already aren't magic, because you are magic, but you know what I'm saying. And part of the definition my guides are bringing through of magic is like it's a layer of reality. It's part of the way things work, but it's being uncovered and excavated more fully to be part of the human experience as a constant and as a way things are, as opposed to something people wish for or hope to attain, if that makes sense. Anything else that would be nice good for this group here? They are showing me like a cloudy sky, and it looks a little bit darker. It's not bad, it's just maybe it's a little foreboding, but part of the message is like if you have cloudy skies metaphorically in your reality, like that does serve a purpose. Certain gloomy periods can be awakening moments where you're kind of releasing things or sifting deeper inside yourself for the truth. It's not meant to tank your life. I don't really get your lives are going to tank, by the way. That's not what I'm getting. But you might have certain cloudy periods that serve a purpose to awaken you further or to start inviting in or welcoming in the sunshine more. For some of you, what's the message here? For some of you, that cloudy sky metaphorically is your redirection. What do I mean by that? If you start going down a path and the sky gets super gloomy, but there's instantly another choice you can make where things get better, or it's like you might be able to make that other choice and like start moving towards the sunshine again. I feel like that message might confuse some of you, so I apologize. what my guys want to say now is like, hey, don't worry about it. For some of you, and you'll know who you are, like it's going to be a redirect because you're going to have a cloudy sky and then there's just going to be like a barrier, like you just can't move forward. You have to go somewhere else. For others of you, it's just like a rite of passage that welcomes in the sunlight more strongly. And there's that phrase, April showers bring May flowers, at least in the Northern Hemisphere in America. And so some of you are going to have some really light and nice, refreshing showers in your life that lead to the growth of the flowers in your life, or the new. And we did have that message about the rain being purifying earlier as well. I'm going to pull one more card. Actually, no, they're saying that's it. So anything else before we part ways here? They're showing me a space shuttle. And they're giving me the words new adventure. A lot of you are heading towards a newer endeavor, a new adventure. I would definitely take the opportunity if it presents itself. It's well worth it. And even if you're exploring regions that have never been explored before or going somewhere new for you, it's well worth it to take the adventure and try something new. Even if you feel like you could get lost in space, metaphorically speaking, or you get lost, like you'll find something in it for you that's important and you won't really be lost. You'll always be able to find your way home or be able to get home. I don't feel like I totally got the message, so give me 1 second to see how they want me to get the message through for you guys here. Okay, if you have the opportunity to take a new adventure, take it. That's it. Simplify that one for you. For some reason, they want me to go back to blue flowers as a sign for you guys as well. That is a sign of hope and things will be okay. It kind of reminds me of rainbow, but it's a blue flower. So that's something else they want me to say. Another message that they're showing me, it just keeps going. They're just showing like with that flower, like getting to the nectar of life. Many of you are going to start having sweeter things coming in where you kind of get the reward after a difficult experience, or respite and sweetness where things have been rough. Is something I'm getting. So it's kind of like a hummingbird gets to the nectar in a flower. It's like you're going to be getting to the nectar of life that you've been missing. And I feel like that nectar is going to be more permanently there. It's not going to be a temporary fix. It's like you're getting a step up, or a leg up in some way, where your life is just sweeter, or there's like a sweeter note to it. So which is good here. Okay, that's it. They're saying that's it. They want me to end it. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was like good. Those were good messages. Thanks, AKA Papa Bear. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing awesome out there. This is so true from you right now. Awesome. I love the way you work. Thank you so much. So I hope this has been good for you. You're so welcome. I hope that made sense and all resonated. Thank you. I'm definitely sending you guys love and wishing you the best. You're welcome. I keep wanting to say things are going to turn around. I keep hearing that phrase, so I'm going to say it. So for the highest good, in a good way, it's in a positive way. For those of you who need to hear it, like things are going to turn around. And you never know what turnaround the bend is going to bring you to better. I don't know why I want to say that, but that's what I want to say. So I hope that was good for you guys. I hope this has been helpful. I hope the best for you, absolutely, for each and every one of you. Thank you, Aspiring Human. And you guys are so welcome. I really appreciate everything you do, Brandon. You've changed my life. That means the world, extra small popsicle. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a big part of why I do it. That's a big part of why I love doing this. So thank you. That's a gift to me that I've been able to facilitate that for you or bring that your way. So thank you so much for telling me. I appreciate you, and I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity to do so. Because that's a gift to me as well. And I wouldn't do it if it wasn't helpful for you guys. So, all right. I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Okay. I was going to do self-promo, but they were like, don't do self-promo, just send it. Okay. So totally cool. You guys take care, and anything else? I'm wishing you a lot of abundance in the best ways for you. Okay. I'm going to sign off here. Anything else here? Oh, hematite might be a good crystal for you guys right now, by the way. See you next week. I will see you guys next week. Okay. Let me figure out how to leave the live because they changed it. Oh, here we go. All right, take care, guys. I'm out of here for now. You guys take care.